New topic. Human centipede.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me just start off by saying I was sitting in my house the other night. Everything was going fine. I was, probably doing something on YouTube or Sony Vegas or playing a video game, and Wings sends me this link. And Wings, why don't you go ahead and just tell everybody about the human centipede?
The synopsis?
Sure.
Well, the movie is basically about a German surgeon, and he specialized in separating Siamese twins. That's all he did.
And there's a girl who gets lost in the woods.
And, he apparently hates humanity as a whole, and he hates tourists. Well, there's two girls that their car break down right near his house, and they're tourists. And he's already basically kidnapped a third tourist. And basically he's in love with centipedes, and he wants to make a human centipede. And by this he means connecting the gastric tubes via ass to mouth to three people. And what he would do is he'd take the ligaments out so they couldn't use their legs.
Their kneecaps. Right?
Their kneecaps.
So their legs would bend in a different way or something like that?
Yeah.
No, so they had to stay on all fours.
Okay.
And he would remove their teeth. And that's as far as they go into that. And he was so...
Oh, no, I saw more. He makes two flaps from the ass, like the ass cheeks. Okay? He cuts like a V in the ass cheek on each side, and he sews that to your, beginning at your ear and going down your cheek. So you're basically sewn to the other person's ass, and your lips are sewn to the other person's asshole, and you are in a line of people, and it's three people. The Japanese gentleman lucked out and got to be the head. Okay,
such a lucky guy.
Hey, he didn't luck out. He's the best actor.
There's one scene where this German psycho is explaining to these three people what he's going to do, and they're sitting there sobbing, and they're all like, "You're so crazy. You're never going to get away with this." If I'm there, I'm going to go, "Who gets to be the head?" I call dibs. Because as simple as that other stuff goes, I can recover from being the head. Okay? You can patch that up. I'll have a scar on my ass. No big deal. We'll put my knees back. If you put me in the back, if you put me in the middle, or you put me in the back, even worse, I'm never getting over that.
Middle's the worst.
I will never emotionally recover from
No. The back end will be the worst because you don't get to shit in nobody's mouth.
Wait a minute. That's a privilege? No, the back is the second best. Because then at least your bum's not ruined. If you're in the middle, it's like being in a car pileup. The front of your car is ruined. The back of your car is ruined. That thing's total. I will say the quality of the food is mildly better in the middle than the back, but really at that point.
Now is this a movie that's coming out?
Yeah, it's in New York and Los Angeles right now. Apparently it's a hit, so it'll be everywhere. Coming soon to a theater near you, boys and girls.
Oh my God!
The horrible nightmare, which is the human centipede.
Now just imagine. Does he take their tongue out? They don't go across that.
No, they keep the tongue.
So they got to taste that shit as it's going down their throat. They can't chew it, so they have to swallow it. So it's going to take them a while to get it. You got to basically use your throat muscles and kind of break it down and send it through your system.
Who the hell even thought this story up?
The guy who came up with the idea, he said he thought of it one night when they were watching a news story about a child molester, and they were saying that should be his punishment. He should be sewn to the back end of a trucker or something.
Nice.
And he got that idea.
What happens if the guy's got a fart?
Well, I guess you better be blowing it out your nose, Wings.
Because he's going to be shooting out the guy in the very back by the time he gets through.
That means...
From what I understand, there's one scene where they try to escape, and they are sewn together at this point.
Oh.
And their only escape route is a spiral staircase.
I'd be falling down that bitch. I wouldn't give a fuck.
At some point, I got to get a hold of a knife and start cutting Billy Bob's stitches off my face, all right? I'm getting out of this. You're not leaving me sewn to Yamamoto and fucking the bitch behind me. It's not going to happen. I'm getting out of this.
I mean, just imagine, the other person's going to throw up eventually from eating shit, and that's going to have to stay there in their mouth unless they
swallow it down.
Oh.
They're gonna have to slow it down. It's basically one of the most horrid, terrible things you could ever imagine. And because this movie has been made, there will probably be some serial killer who actually does it out there somewhere. So thank you very much, Senior Douchebag, who came up with this movie
And
idea.
what about human tolerances? Eventually, you would get used to tasting shit. I mean, seriously, your body would naturally adapt to it. Because you can live off somebody else's shit, you just can't live off your own. That makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make
sense.
sense.
Change the subject.
No, because I was reading on message boards, and there was like doctors saying that if you eat your own shit like 2 or 3 times, it becomes toxic to your body. But if you're continually eating somebody else's shit, that the toxins don't affect with you because there's like new enzymes and new bacteria.
I don't know.
I know
All
it's
know
just
is
human waste, but you can live off of it.
The movie poster says 100% medically accurate. I'm looking at it now.
This is just.
Do we need to do
It's horrible.
I'm lost for words. I didn't know this conversation was going to.
Oh yeah, this has been planned. No, I was going to bring this up anyway. I was thinking earlier today, like things we could talk about, and I was like, Human Centipede has to be brought to light.
I don't know if you guys seen the movie Silo. Silo's another movie about eating shit.
Oh,
But,
How many could there be?
it's in the Bible.
but
Why do we have to go to the Bible now?
That was the first story about eating poo.
yeah, but Silo, they basically was like a boarding school that was corrupt, and to punish kids, they would feed them shit, and they would like tie their hands to the table. And this kind of explains the kind of movies I watch. And when you send me messages like, "Hey, Winks, have you seen Aliens 3?" Yes, I've seen Aliens 3. I've seen every mainstream movie known to man.
Talking about watching this stuff. So, Kyle, how many seasons of 24 have you watched now?
4,
4 of them. And X-Files?
5.
Yet you
Well,
still
I've seen
keep
them all.
dodging me in Civilization Revolution?
All right, look, bitch.
You will do anything but play me. I have challenged you, and you're always too busy. You told me you love X-Files because you're perfect at it. You've never died.
You know what I'm gonna do now? I'm gonna make a video of me sitting on my account inviting you to Civilization Revolution for 10 minutes.
I got a question. Kyle, how are you flawless with X-Files? I mean, I took it there when Robert Patrick took over for Fox Mulder.
Oh no shit, right? Robert Patrick's a douche. That guy sucks.
Sounds like
You
you
can't.
and
If you're gonna bring the bad Terminator in, he better be a villain. Don't make him an FBI agent. That's when the series took a serious turn for the worse. I don't even watch those episodes with him and. Ugh.
I mean, David Duchovny was a million times better than Robert Patrick.
Yeah,
Robert Patrick has the Terminator thing, but
Mulder and Scully's little like relationship together, this like platonic like sexual tension that they always had, it made the show awesome. Right. It was great.
I'd like to point out to the podcast audience how quickly Kyle changed the topic away from dodging me in Civilization Revolution.
Everybody knows you're dodging me. That I've been trying
That
to.
is so not true.
I was going to look forward to the 10-minute video of him inviting you. That's what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
And then he's going to join.
It's not
And
going
then
to
what's going to
happen.
happen?
And then I'm going to freaking eat his lunch. I'm going to steal his milk money in Civilization Revolution. It's going down.
That game will not last half an hour.
It's going to happen.
It's
Kyle's
not
going to
last
desert
half-
Russia.
I will. It will. I'm gonna go Aztecs. I'm gonna switch everything to science. Get my horseman technology. I'll be I'll take out a couple barbarian villages, switch everything to workforce, pump out a couple of horsemen.
You're telling him now like you're insulting.
Dude, I know the counter to that.
I mean, all you gotta do is make the counter.
Yep.
But then you gotta play the head game. Like, is he telling me this so I would make the counter so he already has the counter made for my
There is
counter?
no counter for that.
Please,
There
you go
is-
science early. I'm going to take over your cities. Won't last 10 minutes.
I mean, seriously, everything has a counter in real-time strategy. That's the way the game is based off. I was a professional StarCraft player.
Yeah, but this is a game-breaking feature. This has been complained about on every forum for that game. You can't beat it. It's unbeatable. You don't beat it.
I mean, there's no such thing as an unbeatable tactic. Even if it's overpowered, it's micromanagement that's got to be.
All right, let me give you an idea of how overpowered it is. It's going to take him 3 turns to put out one warrior. I start with a warrior, so I begin the game 3 turns ahead of him, no matter what. And I've got horsemen.
What advantage does he get? I mean, you start with a warrior. That means he starts with more workers.
Nope. It depends which race he's going to pick. They all have little advantages, but the 25 gold that you start with the Aztecs is a massive advantage. It puts you immediately 3 steps ahead of the other guy.
There are ideas, though. I could employ that tactic, or I could go Japanese, where you immediately start off with the ship, get a little one tile.
That's not the Japanese. That's the Spanish, and you still have to build that ship using 2 work per turn, and it takes like 30 work. That's 15 turns.
The Japanese have the advantage of immediately being able to deal with.
They get food. They get food from
they can farm the
from
water.
the ocean.
Yeah, you get a 1 tile city, and that thing will be a juggernaut for a long time before you find your way out there.
I'll take you out in 15 turns, my friend. It's going to be over. You don't understand. I am a Civilization Revolution gangster.
You are a Civilization Revolution windbag, and you won't play me.
I'm going to go with Kyle here. He seems like he's a Prohibition gangster, too.
I just want to watch the video, so I think you guys should put a date down.
I think you should stream it live.
We can do anytime, anywhere. I'll do it right now. We can start it right now while we're still recording. I don't care. I got my book in my hand.
But I don't think the computer's going to be able to handle from the conversation earlier.
But they're fucking up. They're playing real-time strategy on Xbox, which is wrong in the first place.
Kyle. Trying to think of something else that dodges a lot. That's you.
Oh, my God. You know, I've honestly never seen an X-Files with Robert Patrick, though. I've watched Silo. I'm going to watch The Human Centipede. I mean, but I can't ever make it through, like, the intro of a Robert Patrick X-Files. I might have to sit down and watch some of them.
The intro sucks. So they completely changed the way the show comes on. It just ruined it, man. It's bad. Because it's basically like starting the whole show over because he doesn't believe shit. You've got to like convince him of everything. Whereas Mulder and Scully had built up this thing where like Scully was like, yeah, there's some freaky shit going on here.
So basically he took Scully's role over.
Yeah, basically Scully takes Mulder's role and then they bring in Robert Patrick and he.
So when does Scully actually get to the point where she's like, oh, well, I believe now?
Well, I mean, like if you watch the show, like some of the stuff she's seen is just outrageous. Like I mean. She has seen aliens. She knows they're aliens.
Is he getting robotic to you guys?
Yeah, he's getting real robotic.
That's
part of his dodge tactic to say his power without
something. Oh, my.
Uh-huh.
I'm playing Civilizations of the Revolution right now. And then his internet goes out 30 seconds later.
He's pulling a Sark on you.
I know. Guy dodges more than Rush Limbaugh during Vietnam.
Whoa. More like
Oh, Kyle, he's calling you a border runner.
I know. Dude, who are you, Cheney?
More like Bill Clinton.
Okay.
See, what I'm getting back up on right now is because I never finished watching the seasons. I'm watching Dexter right now. Is what I'm getting.
I'm waiting for the 3rd season to come on.
Yeah,
Netflix.
Me too. I've seen the first 2.
Hey, we have 10 minutes left.
I was too.
You know what I want to talk about? High school grades. Kyle, how did you do in high school?
My grades were pretty bad because I didn't really give a shit, but I scored a 14.25 on my SATs, and I've got an IQ of 155.
I had a 3.8 GPA.
You had a 3.8 GPA?
Yep.
Damn.
I don't remember. I graduated in '83. I don't remember. So.
I had horrible GPA in high school. I had a 1.98. I had the lowest GPA of anyone I ever met that actually graduated high school.
Yeah, I had the 3rd lowest.
In high school, my senior year, I started wanting to go to college, so I started paying attention to my class rank, and it was going up. But one of the reasons it was going up is people were dropping out of high school. Like high school dropouts would leave, and I'd be like, woohoo, my GPA is 1 better.
I'm surprised they didn't turn you into like a serial killer.
I was a straight nerd in high school. I didn't have friends or nothing like that, so I basically did my schoolwork so I wouldn't get hassled.
And then my senior year I started swimming, and you had to have good grades to swim, and that's what got me into college too. I could swim, and the coach made an exception for me.
Well, you got to understand, I'm from Georgia. We ain't got no swim team unless we're getting in the pond.
Yeah.
I wish our school had a swimming pool.
We had a surfing team.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. What kind of school did you go to that had a swimming pool?
I'm from Franklin.
I went to Conway High School, And you can't get much more backwater than that. And we had a swimming pool.
Dude, we had a hog barn. Does that count for anything?
Your high school had a hog barn?
Did you have
Hell
no
yeah.
extracurricular money funds in your school at all?
Oh no, we did. We spent it all in agriculture. We had a huge place where people could bring their calves that they had grown and show those off in the cattle show. We had a hog barn. We had the most equipped metals facility in all of Georgia. We had I don't know, a couple $100,000 worth of welders and metal lathes and our wood shop and all that stuff. And we had our technology bay where they actually built an electric car. But
Kyle, please stop. Your school is the reason why people think Southerners are stupid.
oh my God, no!
I know. Did you go to Redneck High? We didn't have a pool. We didn't have educational facilities, but every one of us can weld and raise calves.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
We know how to hoist the engine in the tree using winches.
Yeah, we had that. Yep, we had automotive. We had something called metals, which was welding and metalworking, and we had wood shop, and then we had technology.
You're acting like welding and wood shop is everybody has that.
No, you have no idea. I'm talking about we had our welding facilities were we had a plasma cutter and a 20-ton press and
so which welding processes did you learn?
Phase. Oh, I don't know how to weld.
I actually used to be a really
6 semesters didn't know how to weld.
I'm not going to claim I'm not a licensed welder, but I learned how to weld via my old job.
Yeah,
And I'm not good at it.
But it sounds like Junkyard has something to say.
Yeah, I used to be. I was in metal class, and I was actually one of the best welders in the class, and I used to teach everybody how to weld. Now, as far as trying to do it now, I probably couldn't make a bead if you asked me.
Which process?
But it was gas.
Stick?
No, we just did everything gas welding, the old oxygen and gas. That's all we ever used.
Oh, okay. That's the one I've never done.
All I could do is acetylene. That's all I could do.
Okay.
You take the stick, you light it.
Brazing.
I guess that's what they call it. Basically, take acetylene gas and oxygen, mix it together with a welding stick. You light the stick, and you kind of just hold it just close to it until it melds it together.
Yeah, you know what happens when you mix acetylene gas and a balloon and a lighter?
What is that?
3rd-degree burns. Yeah, you ought to see. I'll never forget. I took a balloon, filled it up with acetylene gas, and it started leaking immediately. And I was like, I got to light this quick. So I lit it with a lighter, and it exploded. And apparently, at the time, I guess I was 17 or so, and the explosion was massive. It was 3 times as big as the balloon itself. So it burnt the back of my right hand, and I went to the emergency room the next day because it didn't seem that bad the first day. It was just black. It was just black, and it was blistered a little bit. But I thought it was going to be okay. But the next day, it was obvious I needed to go to the emergency room, and I went in, and I'll never forget this doctor. He was a black guy. He says, well, young man, let me see what you got there. I show him. He's like, oh. Oh dear.
You got a heroin Bob reaction, huh?
Oh dear. We're not equipped for that. He starts talking about they're gonna have to do skin grafts for my ass. He's talking about all this shit. I'm like, whoa. Hang on a second now. I may need a second opinion. He's like, oh, you definitely need a second opinion. I'm gonna send you to the Augusta Burn Center in Augusta.
Damn. So tell me more.
Oh, I got to Augusta. And they put me in a room with a guy who had been trying to start his carburetor engine and by pouring gasoline in it, and it had just burnt the fuck out of him. He was in there moaning in pain, which is lovely to be in a room with this guy because his face is burnt off. So I'm sitting over there next to him, and I don't know. They gave me a shot of something. I'm gonna assume it was morphine, but she goes and I felt it right away. It was some good stuff, and she's like, "You feel anything?" I'm like, "Nope." She's like,
you liar. You lying drug. Never trust an addict.
So she gets more, and she gets about double what she put in the first time, and she gives me that. She's like, you feel anything? And I'm really feeling it now. I'm like, no, not really. And she goes, and she feels it way up this time. She hits me with that, and she goes, you feel anything? I go, whoa. She's like, there we go. Dude, I can understand how people become heroin addicts or whatever. That stuff put me out. my memory of the next hour comes in flashes now because it's like I've been abducted by aliens. Because I remember them. She had this. The reason I wanted a bunch of it was because she had her kit of tools out, and it was like scalpels and forceps and a scrub pad and all this shit. And I was like, I don't want to be awake for this. So basically, they scrubbed all the skin off the back of my right hand, and they put this glove on my hand. It's basically like artificial skin, and I literally have zero scarring. You can't tell which hand got burned. It's actually amazing.
I got a question. You started talking like in a waiting room next to this guy with his face half burned off. Was it really that fucking crowded in a burn center?
No, it was like we were in the same room. We were sharing a hospital room.
Oh.
Yeah. How's the control with the hand now?
Like for the first for about a month afterwards, like the skin was tight so much so that I couldn't like make a fist without it being uncomfortable. But like now it's fine. Like I literally, if I show somebody, they can't tell which hand got burned, and neither can I.
You did do the physical therapy and all that crap afterwards and all that, right?
No, I actually took the glove off about 3 days early and peeled the scabs off because I'm weird like that.
I just find
I don't condone that.
You got to burn so bad that you made a doctor stutter, and you didn't go to the emergency room right away.
I'm a pretty tough guy. What can I say? I spent the night with my hand in a bucket of ice water, and it was fine. But I had these massive blisters on, it was like the knuckles.
I'm pretty sure they're like whiteheads and shit by the time you woke up.
Oh, they were massive. I'm talking about like quarter-sized blisters, like on the knuckles, on like all the knuckles of my fingers, and on my hand, on the back of my wrist.
And you didn't look down there and be like, yeah, I might have to go to the emergency room.
Well, at the my parents at the time had went to Tennessee to the mountains. They went like to Gatlinburg, I guess, Tennessee, and so they weren't there when I did it. And I didn't really want to get in trouble for doing what I had done. So I was like, yeah, it's not so bad. I'm just gonna wrap it up. It'll be all good. But no.
I think getting in trouble is a little less than losing the hand.
Well, I'm all good now.
I mean, I'm just trying to follow your train of thought there. Well, my hand's fucked up, and they might get infected, and I'm hoping the ice will cure the infection.
It really didn't seem that bad right away. It didn't blister up until the day after. So the first day it was black. By the way, I don't know if you know what acetylene gas makes this black soot. Mm-hmm. So the back of my hand was black, and it was so painful. I couldn't exactly wash it. So it was pretty bad.
You ever seen SLC Punk?
No.
You should watch Salt Lake City Punk. That sounds like Heroin Bob's story right there.
Oh, I've seen that.
But the guy was scared of needles.
Yeah, and he ends up dying. Yeah, from the drug overdose. I've seen that.
It's got Matthew Lillard in it, the worst actor ever.
Oh, he's not that bad. Isn't that the guy from Scream?
That's the guy from Shaggy. He played Shaggy.
And Scream. He's the guy from Scream that goes, I'm getting kind of woozy. After his buddy stabs him.
Yeah, but he's such an actor. Come on.
He's doing the best he can, man.
That's an hour.
He's taking the movies he can.
All right.
Anybody got any thoughts of, anybody got any leafing comments? Junkyard?
Hey, well, I just want to thank you guys for inviting me in for this Thursday's podcast. I really appreciate it. I know that we've been talking about this for a while, and you told me that you guys were working on this project for a while, and obviously I've been listening to 1 and 2, and I'm looking forward to listening to 3 because, well, I'm here in it, so it's going to be a good one to listen to. Yep. And, hey, make sure you check out my YouTube page. I'm going to promote myself there, Junkyard 129.
Yep. Yeah. And I feel like a girl at this point because my worst burn I ever got was taking a pizza out of the oven and hitting my hand on the rack.
You didn't live. See, I lived like a wild child. Like when I would go into school bandaged and wrapped up, and people would just be like, "What'd you do this time?" I'm talking about broken bones and burns and cuts and the skin taking off the right side of my face.
My mother got immune to the police showing up at my door.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, there's a whole. The next podcast is going to be about Woody's back life.
Well, we got. All right. I can't wait next Thursday.
Yeah,
I gotta hear about this wild story.
A cop would show up at the door, and she'd be like, "Is he paralyzed?" And they'd say, "No." "Is he dead?" And she'd say, "No." She'd be like, "All right, everything else I can handle." That was how tough my mom became in my childhood.
All I mean,
Yeah.
where did the software architect come into this?
It happened later.
I'm starting to think it was a prison program.
You know, I have like a whole bunch of stories. I had like a list I was going to let you guys choose from, like high school grades, lifeguard, attempted suicide, how I met my wife, stuff like that. We'll have to cover these in later podcasts.
Well, I'd like to join you guys, so hopefully I can join you guys again in a future one here.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, that's been Painkiller Episode 3. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. I suggest not commenting on the actual podcast site because I got to moderate that, and I'm lazy as shit. Other than that, it's been
Hey, let
nice.
us know. Quickly, let us know who you guys want for the next podcast, who you want our next guest appearance to be.
Yeah, good idea.
All right, guys. We're out.
Later.
All right, record.
Well, hey guys, it's your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm back, and I sound like Junkyard today because we're doing podcast Painkiller already, Episode 4. Who do we have with us today?
Kyle!
Oh no!
This is Woody. And our guest.
And this is Bash.
Welcome
Hi,
to the
Bash
podcast,
TV.
Bash.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Very good. Does anyone want to go with the first topic, or do you want me to throw it out?
I'll go with it.
Go ahead.
How the hell did you get the name Bash?
Bash. Well, my real name is Bashir, so a lot of my friends call me Bash, so I just ran with that.
Nice,
Bashir,
I like
is that your
that.
first name or your last name?
That's my first name.
Oh, because I'm thinking of the hockey player, Donald Bashir.
How big of a nerd
Yeah, but
I am.
his
I'm
is-
thinking of Star
his-
Trek Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm more along the lines of Deep Space Nine because I don't have an R in the middle of my name. I have an R only at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And you
Yeah.
both out nerded me. I had never seen Deep Space Nine. I could never follow spin-off shows like Deep Space Nine,
not a-
Voyager, or
All right. Well, Voyager was good, man. You had Janeway. She was like the first female Star Trek
Wait a
captain.
minute.
She was
I was with you through Deep Space Nine, but Janeway and that little midget guy, like the Ferengi person, like who the cook.
Neelix. No, Neelix is the man. He cooked. He had that mohawk thing, and he had that little midget girlfriend.
Neelix is
Who
the
was 4
woman
years
at
old.
best. And that guy.
You had a black Vulcan in there. That was
Hence all
great.
the
He was the
cooking.
first black Vulcan.
hey, Next Generation and the original. That was all that consists in the Star Trek universe to me.
You know
If
what?
it,
Alright, you're
didn't,
missing-
if it didn't have at least a crappy made-for-TV spin-off movie, I weren't interested.
I'll say two things. You missed out on something with Deep Space Nine, and if you haven't seen the new Star Trek movie, which didn't seem to fit that criteria, you really missed out because that was great.
You know,
Oh, that was good.
I made the first 10 minutes of the new Star Trek movie because, Jay,
The first 10 minutes was badass.
what, of him with a Mustang driving across the cliff for no fucking
No,
reason?
that was like 30 minutes in. If I recall, the first 10 minutes was
Yeah,
that's
that battle at the beginning.
The
was
battle
bad.
at the beginning that his father fought, exactly.
He crashes.
Yeah, that was.
I love any movie where at the end the guy's like, "Fuck it," and he like drives a ship into something. He's like, "All right, they're going down."
Yeah, you
where?"
can't go
That's
wrong.
what-
yeah,
You
but
can't
see,
that's what-
that was
Oh.
Nemesis.
We're gonna go super nerd mode on this podcast. We're gonna talk about some Star Trek, I guess. Let me tell you, this is why Captain Kirk was a badass. When shit went down, he was gonna set that thing to self-destruct. He didn't care. He must have done that like 10 different times. If I'm Scotty, I'm like,
Fuck it,
"Sir,
blow
you
it
gotta
up.
calm down." Because he's setting that thing to self-destruct every other episode. That or he's going to, like, crash it into something. If you come on board his ship and you fuck with him, he's like, all right, we're all going down then. I don't care. Blowing up in 5 minutes. Get ready. I remember we were fighting against these people one time who were, like, half black, half white. And I don't mean racially. I mean, like, they were split down the middle vertically. Left side was like, white painted. Right side was black painted. And, like, those people wanted to take over the ship. So he's like, all right. Self-destruct mode, and the timer's ticking down, and the alien's like, "Are you fucking crazy?" And he's like, "I don't care. We're all gonna die now." He just didn't give a shit, and he didn't care. He was gonna get in a fist fight. He was gonna fuck a green woman. He was the man.
You admitted me a badass.
Picard was like the thinking's man, Star Trek captain, but Kirk was just a badass.
The only thing that got me with Picard is Data did most of his fucking work.
Well, I mean, you got to think of Data like as Picard's iPhone. I mean,
if Picard
he's not really a person.
if he was a better thinker, he'd have leveraged Q a little bit more. You know, he's running into trouble. He could have said, "Hey, Q, fix this stuff for me," and be good to go.
Why did Picard need a second officer? I mean, I guess you could say Leonard Nimoy was, Shatner's second officer, but he had a whole different job. He was like,
He was a science officer.
yeah, he was a scientist. Why did Picard need like a second chair?
You know what I'm going to say?
Ship.
I'm going to throw this out there. If you gave me 4 weeks, I could grow a beard at least as good as that guy's.
Oh, what, Brent Spinner? That guy had a badass beard.
I can do
Brent
that.
Spinner was Data.
Oh, was he?
You're talking about Jonathan Frakes.
I don't know. The guy's number one. That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, Jonathan
Number
Frakes.
one.
I
Brent
can grow a
Spinner
beard
played
like
Data.
that. I can get that done. And Hutch, don't make me show you. I grow a beard if my wife lets me.
Son, I outbeard all of you. I grow full beard in sleep.
I saw your beard, man. It was like the Abe Lincoln thing you had cooking.
Yeah, and that was like 3 days old.
No.
Wow.
I'm serious. I got more back hair than some people have hair on their body.
Whoa, but TMI.
I'm just a hairy beast. I got chest hair. It looks like a forest.
All right, so moving on.
Yeah, new topic. Hey, did you guys see the new map pack was announced for Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah, I caught it in between haters' comments.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So it comes out pretty soon. Let me check it. I kept the page up, so it won't be long.
June 3rd.
Is it
Yeah,
June 3rd?
Yeah. It's
And-
coming up soon.
It's the same deal. There's 5 maps, and it's $15 again, so $3 a map, which I know everyone's going to go crazy over. But for me, it's still one of the cheaper things I do in gaming. You know, in terms of dollars per hours, I spent a lot more on BioShock or Heavy Rain or one of those games I play through and stop than I did on any of the map packs. But
I'm not that excited for the map pack because how do I phrase this? Modern Warfare 2 is a piece of shit. So it's like I just could not care less. They might as well come out with map packs for Mario Brothers. If they came out with a Mario Brothers map pack, I would buy that before I bought the Modern Warfare 2 map pack.
Kyle's interested in the Pac-Man expansion pack.
Something like that. That shit is shit, man. I'll buy anything before I buy a Modern Warfare 2 map pack.
really, I'll pick it up. I get enough time out of that game even now. Well, actually, right now I'm only playing Beta Reach, and I playing Reach has made me sort of understand how much more Bungie does for the community than Infinity Ward. I mean, their beta has more online support than Modern Warfare 2 does.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, Infinity Ward's horrible, dude.
The fact that they put 2 new maps into the beta, that's more support than Infinity Ward did in the last 9 months.
It really is.
Hey, Bungie will put more maps into Halo Reach than Infinity Ward will put into their last 2 games. That's the kind of bullshit we deal with those people. They really will, because what we get, we got 4 maps on COD 4, and we're probably going to get a total of, I don't count those rehashed maps.
8
as
maps.
as fucking Dr. Evil Jr., Robert Bowling likes to call them. But
6 maps on Modern Warfare 2. And,
Yeah.
even Treyarch outshines. Treyarch put 16
What did he
maps
call
out.
them? Rehash maps?
yeah,
Huh.
What's rehashed about them? They look exactly the same.
Well, they got different stuff in them. Like the bike shop has more detail on the walls, like more bike tires.
No.
Like in Crash, there's radios and shit laying around the hallways.
I actually
So
wonder
there's just
how
visual
much
detail
time they
too.
saved by using existing maps.
A lot because you still get under the overgrown.
think of it like this, all right? Think of this. Think of building a map the same way you would build a house. All right, when they built Salvage, they had to pour a foundation. They needed an architect. They needed to level the ground. They needed to pour a foundation, put up the walls, the roofing, plumbing, all that good stuff. With Overgrown, they just had to repaint the house.
See, now, I actually like your analogy, but I'm not sure I agree with it. Here's the deal. With the new maps, there's a new engine involved. There's new detailing. There's new, the way that they build them and the way that they react, the glass reacts, the cars react, all that stuff. I would bet that your equivalent to the house thing is they had to pour the foundation, they had to put in the walls, they had to put in the curtains, they had to do the rugs, the whole thing, and what they saved was the architecture work. That,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No. I've been playing COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 exclusively. In free-for-all, the spawns are 100% the exact same.
Yeah.
The only difference is instead of a car on the left-hand side, there's a truck now. That's for the environment. There is no glass in Crash or Overgrown.
But I think because it's a new engine, they actually had to retype and redrag and redo everything. They just didn't have to redesign it.
I think it was as simple as dragging and dropping the old map into their new engine. I mean, I could be completely wrong. You know more about it than I do, but just I wouldn't put it past Infinity Ward to just take the easiest way out. You know, the path of least.
Hey, the fact that you can still get under Overgrown says something.
It does. Yeah, that does say something.
By the way, the link I sent you guys is the reason I like Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, I'm thinking about checking it out now myself.
All right, guys. So he sent a link of 7 of 9 in this bodysuit, and except for the freaky stuff on her hand and eye, she appears in pretty good shape.
She got both headlights on.
Yeah, she does. That's Jerry Ryan, and she exclusively wore a one-piece leotard throughout the entire show, and she is stacked. And if you guys ever watched that show that was on Fox called Boston Public, she was the hot-ass blonde teacher. It was on for about 3 years. But
yeah, you're right. I remember
she's got
that.
these metal implants on her body, and she's got like one that's like framing her eyebrow, and she's got one that's on her left hand, and you got to wonder where the rest of them are.
I wasn't a really big Next Generation watcher, but I watched First Contact. I watched almost all the movies. I don't think I've seen Insurrection. And Picard hates the Borg, like Shatner hates the Klingons. How did they get along?
How did who get along? This was Voyager. She was on. She was on.
She was on Voyager. She wasn't on Next Generation.
No, right. She wasn't on Next Generation.
Because I remember Picard hated the Borg.
But I don't think he was prejudiced against them. I bet if he met a nice Borg, that he'd get along with that guy.
I don't think so.
Did Picard ever get in a fist fight?
I'm sure he has.
I'm trying to think back. I've literally seen every episode, so. Now, let's just get one thing straight, because I know there's probably, 10, 20, I don't know how many viewers we have on this thing now. I'm not one of those Trekkies, okay? I'm not one of those Trekkies. I'm not one of those guys who has a Star Trek uniform in the closet, puts it on, and hangs out with his buddies or anything. Let's just get that straight now. I just enjoy the television show. Used to watch as a child with my father, so it's ingrained in my personality. Just wanted to get that out there, but I love the show.
So you're saying you're loyal to your Star Wars, and you're only going to have the Stormtrooper uniform and no others?
Oh, fuck off.
You know what actually ran through my mind when you were talking about that was you in Walmart in a Star Trek uniform with a gun.
Oh, I'd have to have a phaser if I'm in Star Trek.
You know what? I want to call that the oh fuck off thing. We have had so many subs who don't understand, like, friendships and relationships and guys joking around. How many?
Because those kids don't have fucking real friends in life.
Like, I don't get this. These people are, like, a certain kind of emotionally retarded.
That's what I wanted to talk about that I couldn't remember.
Oh,
Glad
really?
you brought it up. I've been trying to remember what I wanted to bring on this podcast forever. Go ahead and finish your point. I want to hit on it, too.
It's baffled me how they don't see, like, when I tease you about how you were afraid to face me in Civilization's Revolution, that they don't see, like, the fun in that and that we get along. Or I did a dual commentary with FPS Russian, and they think that guy's going to kill me. They're like, good thing you have that gun. It's
nobody can joke around. They think you're so serious about everything, and like they hear somebody call somebody a douche, and they're like, oh, Hutch hates that guy. Let me go to his page and flame him now. That's. Let me just say this. All right, the majority of I myself am 20. I just turned 24 years old. The majority of the people that I play with and that I hang out with on YouTube and Skype and stuff are around my age or older. I don't know how to say this. Most of us are grown men. So if we have a slight disagreement about a video game, that doesn't mean we want 20,000 14-year-olds to jump in on our side. I don't need that, guys. And most of the time we're just joking around anyway.
If you tell somebody to go fuck, if you hear me tell Woody to go fuck himself, I'm not serious.
Yeah, Kyle and I were laughing through that whole Civ Rev game, and I know probably 98% of the people who watched the back and forth leading up to it understood that like we were friends and we were getting along. But there was a vocal minority who really thought, that there was a severe disagreement over Civilization's Revolution. And
oh my god, I was getting these comments on my page. They're like, "Oh, you showed that faggot Woody, man. You made him eat his words." I'm like, "Are you kidding?"
Woody's got 2 kids. How's he homosexual?
Yeah, maybe they don't understand how it works.
You had the birds and the bees conversation at your house yet?
Dude, I don't even want to get started with those people.
But yeah, just understand, most of us in the YouTube community get along with each other, and if we say something, we don't need 40,000 people yelling fight, fight, fight. I mean,
there's only 2 people on YouTube that I hate, and I mean, I would never bring them up because I don't like those silly little flame wars. Because basically, what you're doing when you start those, you're trying to rally your troop of children to fight on your side. And what kind of reasonable adult human being would do that? I don't get it.
See, my group of children are mentally retarded. This guy just spelled legend Legend.
The legend. Maybe he's Italian. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's Italian. Who knows?
Sebastian,
I'm
have you
still
seen this too?
All right, I'm gonna try to find some nude photos of Jerry Ryan. You guys change topics or whatever.
Goodness. Sebastian, do you have subscribers who appear to be emotionally retarded?
I don't have enough subscribers for me to call my subscribers emotionally retarded right now, but I'll go ahead and say that I do keep an eye on the comment boxes that you guys have, and sometimes it's just ridiculous what I see, man. And I guess you just got to understand that some people just don't get it. You know what I mean? A lot of the people that we cater to are under the age of 15. You know what I mean? So they just don't get it right now. They haven't developed mentally.
I like my subs, and I appreciate that the bulk of my subs treat me really well. Like, one thing that I'm kind of proud of is I have 3 videos on Machinima, only 3. And Machinima has like 1,600 videos total. And in terms of how highly they're rated, I have, if I recall, like 1, 2, and 8 all time. And it's not because my videos are the best that's ever been on Machinima. It's because my subscribers are the best, and I appreciate them for that. But there's a couple out there who don't understand joking, and that's I've seen that recently. So.
Yeah, this pending approval stuff rocks. Just one kid said, "Why no commentary?" like 12 times.
Yeah.
In that case, the pending approval, like when you do a duel with FPS Russian, one of the things he used to do is he'd ask you to make the comments pending approval. And so I've seen that too. And I think it confuses people because I got more duplicate comments on that one video than I did all my others combined.
I saw that he was doing that, and I was like, why would you do that? You got to go through every comment and approve it. And he's like, it shuts up all the people that are going to hate on me. And I'm like, you're right. I've started doing it too. I do it on every single video.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing it myself. I'm just going to block all the haters, and the only people that'll see the hate is me. It's a good idea.
These kids are douches. Who are these kids who make these Photoshop fake pictures of celebrities nude? Now I have to, inspect the photo. I don't know if this is real or not. That's not real.
I don't
That's a
know.
hot chick they put her head on, though.
Now, is this Jerry Ryan chick? Is she a la carte or is she natural?
She's natural, I think.
I don't think that's natural, dude.
I mean, this looks like basketballs here. I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're riding a little high, man. They don't look all natural to me.
I mean, it looks like they're holding their own. Gravity ain't got nothing on them.
If you can touch something, it is real. End of discussion.
No, we ain't saying it's not real. There's a difference between real and not natural, though. There's no, you could be real but not natural.
All right.
Those aren't natural. Those are supernatural. That's the end of story.
All right, you win on that.
Hey, who knows what time the call started before we get too deep into it? Was it 15 minutes in?
10, 20, somewhere around there.
Oh, so we're 25 minutes in, you think?
Yeah, about 25 minutes in when we started the conversation.
All right. So let's do some more. Hey, I have this. Here's the deal. 2 podcasts ago, I had what someone called a cool story, bro, which is actually an insult, meaning like a boring story. But I think by and large it was well received. So I'm going to let our guest choose which cool story I choose. Um, the first time the police brought me home, my high school suicide attempt, how I got thrown out of the dorms and met my wife, or the one that Wings wanted, my career path.
You know, I'm thinking about that second one. I'd like to hear that second one.
Well, it's funny because I'm actually in the IT industry, so your career path actually is interesting to me, but I really want to hear about that suicide attempt. I gotta say.
All right, so let's throw it down. It starts off with kind of a high point in my high school. I was 17, I had a hot girlfriend, and I had a car that I thought was cool, a Volkswagen GTI. It was only 2 years old. And everything kind of went wrong when I crashed it. I was up late with her. Nothing really interesting happened, I promise you. But I was up late with her, and then I was racing bikes at the time, like bicycles, the road racing, Tour de France kind of thing, but one day. And I had to prep the bike for it. I drove up to Pennsylvania for the race, and on the drive home, I fell asleep and crashed my car. And that's when everything kind of went south. Everything sort of hit me at once. So I had bad grades in high school, and the kind of father I had was he would lay it down. He didn't really tell anything kind of softly. And the future he was painting for me, and this was his motivational tactic, was really, really bleak, as if it was an unrecoverable situation. So I mentioned in a podcast or two ago that I had a 1.98 GPA when I graduated, and that was after I pulled it up my senior year. And I might have been like a 1.6 at the time. And so I felt like I had no future. I had crashed my car. I had broken my arm. And my girlfriend had dumped me, which I think might have been related to the car thing. And everything just looked like it wasn't worth finishing. Like I was like, man, this stuff's not turning around for me. And so the tactic I took on the suicide attempt was hanging myself. What I did is I grabbed a dog leash, and I looped it through itself so that it would sort of tighten like a noose, and then I hooked a little clip that would go on the collar to a skylight in the bathroom. And so I hooked the clip on, and I stood on a chair like so that I could hook the clip on, and I kicked it out from under me. And I hung there for probably, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds or so, and then the skylight broke. It was the piece that you would use that made it sort of go up and down so you could open the skylight, and it pulled off after like 15 or 20 seconds, and I just sort of fell to the ground and sat there, and it was like, fuck, that didn't work either. And
Are you sure? Are you sure that this wasn't a David Carradine type situation?
If you guys don't know, this is a guy who enjoyed masturbating and choking himself at the same time. So that's the
Autoerotic asphyxiation. David Carradine, who was the actor from Kung Fu and Bill from Kill Bill, this is how the man died. He was hanging himself, to, I won't go into great detail, but he was hanging himself while masturbating to enjoy the experience more. And like many people who do that, he killed himself accidentally. And you can imagine how they found him, hanging naked with his hand on his penis. Worst death ever.
Best death ever? You got a better way to go?
Question.
Yeah,
It can go both ways.
Yeah. So anyway, after that, like sort of the successor, the finish of that story there is I didn't really try again, although I was kind of depressed. My sleep schedule was wrecked, and I don't know what happened.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
How'd the straight shooting father take the broken skylight?
They didn't know. They didn't know for years. I actually told them about it probably when I was in my mid-20s. So it was 17 when I did it, and they're like, oh, but they knew that that I was depressed. They just didn't know how to deal with it. They didn't know how to like provide a support system and to help me kick it. And I really think what pulled me out of it was springtime rolled around. And you know what was really cool? So my father always made me work. So I got my first job when I was like 13. And just briefly, this job, I would wake up at like 4 a.m. in the morning and rent out bicycles which was like 10% dealing with customers and 90% dipping steel wool in this kerosene oil like mixture that he called bike juice and rubbing the rust off the bicycle spokes in the sun. So that was me at 13. And so that was the kind of dad I had. He always liked me working. He always liked me, having jobs and employment and being fruitful, even though I didn't do well in high school. And that summer when I had a broken arm because of the car crash, I couldn't work. I couldn't get hired anywhere. And it was awesome. It was the first time I had like a fully savage tan. And I spent all my time at the beach and got in good shape. And I used to date girls like serially. So when you're in a regular town, if you like ask a girl out or you date her for a week and you're a total jackass, then that's on your permanent record. But if you live at a beach town, you get 200,000 new women every week. Every week. You can be anything. I saw the movie with Julia Roberts where she plays a prostitute. Help me here. Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
I saw that movie like 25 times that summer. I would take girls to that movie and then I'd kiss them under the boardwalk like every opportunity I got. And that was what pulled me out of my depression.
Woody's wife does not listen to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I was about to ask, did you pull the same move on the wife?
No. Hey, that I've got a pretty interesting story from when I met her too. Maybe another podcast.
What did you take her to Pretty Woman and kiss her under the boardwalk?
No, it's a whole new story. It has to do with me nearly getting thrown out of college and doing community service. But we'll leave it for another one.
You were just a bad kid, eh, man?
I was like a really nice kid. I wore sweaters with collars underneath them, and like got away with a lot more than my leather-jacketed brethren.
But your hearts were the same, though. That's the thing.
But not in like a nasty way. Like I was never a nasty person. Like I didn't beat up people smaller than me or anything like that. But in terms of like playing hooky, and I had a motorcycle in high school, and if I wasn't going double the speed limit, I thought I wasn't doing it right. And so if it was 55, I'd go 110. If it was like a 25 in urban streets, I'm going 50. And that was my goal. I'm like passing between cars on uphill corners, thinking that double yellow line is like the motorcycle lane. That was that was me in high school.
Damn. My exciting parts of high school was getting accepted in a Dungeons and Dragons group.
But, all right, well, look, moving on. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. That just happened. Wow. I guess my most exciting moment in high school was I was kind of I wasn't really afraid of anything, and I would do pretty much anything. And we were doing this thing one day. There was this rap song, and I don't even remember who sings it. Maybe somebody in the podcast can help me out. But at one point in the song, the guy's like, he says something to the nature of, "Yeah, I Donkey Kong them bitches," and the other guy's like, "What the hell's that?" And he's like, "You hit them in the top of their head. That way the popo don't see no bruise." And so we thought that was really funny. Donkey Kong and somebody in the head. Basically, you make a fist and you hit them with the bottom of your fist, like you would, hit your fist on a table. And so we were seniors, so as the freshmen walked by, we Donkey Kong them. We pop them in the top of the head just for the hell of it.
See, that's what I didn't do. I never beat up little kids, you jackass.
No, we're getting to the good part.
See, I'd have a handful of dick. Somebody did that to me.
All right, so you gotta send yourself, man. I'm gonna take some. GFX Lab is gonna fuck you up. Did you just say that? I can just see a rap song. I got a handful of dick. Got a handful of dick. Handful of dick. Handful of dick.
Hey, when I was growing up in high school, and that was the number one way to take a guy down. You grab that shit and you twist.
Oh man!
All right,
they taught that shit to the girls in that phys ed class they always had for the girls.
Hey, that would take a football player down to his knees.
Wait, Kyle's in his story. So Kyle, you're ruthlessly hitting little kids in the back of the head.
We had been hitting the freshmen or whatever, and so we were in class, and we're in wood shop, and the class was about to start, and I was telling my buddy, I was like, I don't give a shit, I'll hit anybody. And they're like, I bet you won't hit Mr. Coffin. Mr. Coffin is our wood shop teacher. He's 6'4", and I'm like, I don't give a shit, I'll hit him. And they're like, do it, I fucking dare you. I'm like, all right. So he's standing at his podium, we're all standing around, he's like, well, today we're going to build some birdhouses and we're going to learn to do some masonry work. And Myers, what are you going to do today? And I went, Donkey Kong, bitch. And I hit him in the top of the head. And he was so taken back by that. He just kind of like, he was just like, ah! And like turned red, and I thought he was going to hit me. But he just like drugged me to the office. I was like, what a pussy. You would take me to the office. Why don't you just punch me? But I hit the teacher in the top of the head and got suspended for 2 days. And the best part is, like, he knew my dad. So, like, I would see him, like, outside of school when we would go shoot shotguns and stuff. Oh, man. Mr. Coffin. I saw him about 2 years ago. It was kind of awkward.
Wings, don't you have a suicide story? Someone you know?
Oh, I want to talk about that one.
Oh, that's... Okay. All right, I'll respect that. I'll take it back. I was going to insist, but good enough.
Suicide can be a pretty touchy subject. I remember one time in high school, like a guy broke up with this girl, and she asked to go to the bathroom, and when she came back, she had cut her wrist in the bathroom, and he was in the class with her, and she comes back into the classroom. Look what you made me do! Look what you made me do!
Yeah, but see, my suicide story actually succeeded.
Oh, that's...
Oh, that ain't cool.
Well, mine was just as disturbing. If you've ever seen a 15-year-old girl walk into a classroom bleeding profusely, screaming, "Look what you made me do," that's terrifying.
Yeah.
So the question is, was it vertically or horizontally?
You saying did she cross the street or she go down the highway?
That's fucked up. I don't know why people cut their wrists anyway. I don't know why you wouldn't shoot yourself in the head, man.
Yeah, usually they do it for attention a lot of the time. That's why. That's
I
why
was
they
going to say that. I was going to, like, weird. As a point of pride, when you do it silently in some room when everyone's sleeping, you're not doing it for attention. When you cut your wrist and run back into class and tell everyone to look at it, that's a cry for attention.
Exactly.
See, if these broads were smart, they'd get some homeopathic fucking like sleep aids and they'd eat the whole bottle in front of somebody. Most people are dumb as shit. You ain't gonna overdose on homeopathic drugs.
I was about to say that. I was like, aren't they 99% water?
Yeah. But see, most people are dumb as shit. They be like, oh my God, you just swallowed a bottle of sleeping pills. You know.
I had a roommate who tried to kill himself every week. It was freaking
What a
brutal.
failure.
Yeah, that is pretty bad.
So, yeah, but like so they weren't all serious attempts, but the guy was really not right. He wasn't actually my roommate. We both rented out bedrooms on this house. So I guess a woman wanted help with her mortgage, and she rented out bedrooms to college kids. And he and I, just like almost shared a door. The rooms were so close, and there was only two of us renting. And he would OD on drugs, and then he'd call them like his mom and be like, "It's over now. This is gonna be it. I miss you." And I called 911. I called 911 enough that I got to know the paramedics. It was like, Joe,
Wow.
hey, Sean did it again.
Wow.
And
What's up, Big Mike?
yeah. But and then there were other like weird things he did. Like remember he took a first aid kit and he was smashing it on the bathroom mirror. And so I went in there and I'm like, dude, you got to settle down. This is not normal behavior. And he later admitted that like in his head he was going to break the mirror and a piece of glass would cut his jugular. Now, of course, that's not a realistic plan, but that's what he had cooking in his mind when he was doing it.
Why did he pick the glass up?
He didn't break it. It was a plastic first aid kit, and he was just sort of smashing it when I went over and helped him out.
All this goes to my mind. What the hell was the lady that needed the help with the house payment doing when he was trying to break her bathroom mirror?
Yeah, I
The
don't
more
even know if she
important
was
story
home.
that I want to hear is what was Woody doing with the lady who was renting the house out to him? Because I just imagine some kind of
she
weird
was-
scenario.
When I rented the room, I was like, yeah, even if it doesn't turn romantic, at least it'd be like someone cool and maybe she'll have friends because she wasn't that much older than me. She was probably like 22 or 23.
Nice.
But turns out she was gay and not down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Trust me, Woody.
See,
You
what-
can you can turn him back.
That's what Dan Savage
okay.
says.
it was okay when you said she was gay, but I was like, you can work with that.
I couldn't work with it. I don't know. Maybe you were.
I don't know.
charming to me.
There's different levels of gay. I mean, when they already look like the boy, you might not be able to turn them back. I've seen like some females that go so deep into like looking like a boy, they'll start talking like him.
Yeah.
Like I worked with this one girl. You couldn't even tell it was a girl. I like got surprised when they walking in her on the bathroom and she had tits. I was like,
This one was pretty enough, but she had You know when girls have those beads like braided into their hair when they go to the Caribbean?
Yeah.
She had that going on all the time. It's not my
Yeah. Not really.
Oh, she's one of those grassroots people.
Yes, absolutely.
She's all with the movement and stuff.
Granola.
Oh, speaking of bitches, I seen this movie called The Teeth earlier. Y'all ever see Teeth yet?
All right, hang on 1 second. While you talk about teeth, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and hopefully you're done talking about teeth.
Oh, you want to be here for this one, Kyle. You want to be here.
No, I don't. I've seen the movie. I know. I'll be right back.
No.
All right, I want to be here. Tell me about Teeth.
Well, there's this
I've never
movie
seen it.
about teeth, and it's basically about a girl named Dawn. And Dawn is like really, really, pro abstinence. She wants to save herself from marriage, so much so that her body evolves, and her vagina grows teeth.
What?
Are you kidding me?
That's
Who
not
made-
good. That's
I
not
can't even
something
believe
I
somebody
like.
would make that. Who funded the movie, though?
I watched that movie earlier, and I'm like, man, this movie kicks ass.
What? So you're into that?
I mean, I'm not into the vagina with teeth, but
I don't know. I'm getting that
it's a cool
vibe.
concept because she had like these boyfriends. She had like a really clean cut boyfriend, and like his friend always hit on her, and he's like tried to get his hand down her pants. He comes back without his fingers.
Oh no!
And it turns out in the movie, spoiler alert. Turns out in the movie, the boyfriend that was all lovey-dovey with her, the one who's like, yeah, I'll save myself for marriage, actually had a bet with his other friend that he would score with her first. And
So he lost his dick.
he lost his dick, yeah. Because they fucked one time, and she was in with it, and then they fucked the second time, and he told her about the bet while he was fucking her. And she got all mad.
And she bit him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Didn't the dog eat it? I remember seeing that.
No, that was like her stepbrother.
Oh, my God. How many times did she almost get raped?
No, she turned maniacal toward the end of it and just started fucking people she wanted to kill.
Oh, I'm reading about this right now. It's actually a real thing called vagina dentata.
Oh my god! Oh, that's awesome.
The coolest name ever. I'm gonna name a dog that.
No, apparently it's a folk it's like a folk tale, an old school folk tale, like a cautionary tale, for the dangers of having sex with strange women.
Every folktale, every stereotype has something based in reality. The boogeyman. I guarantee the boogeyman is based on some psycho that was hiding in a kid's closet and killed him. All that shit is real, one way or another.
So you're saying there might actually be a vagina with teeth?
Yeah, that happened.
That happened.
I don't think it's a vagina with teeth now, but that movie was messed up. Like it took off like one of the gynecologist's hands, and he didn't want to tell people how he lost it.
I would be telling everyone. I'd be on the front of freaking TMZ.com with that type of news, dude.
Because he ate my hand. No, but sort of related story. I remember on the History Channel, they I think it was a thing about self-defense weapons or knives, whatever it was about. But there was this product. I want to say it was in the 40s, 50s. It was an anti-rape product, and basically what it was something that a woman could insert into her vagina, and it was basically a trap.
Rape axe.
They still sell
Yeah,
those.
rape eggs. Reading about it right now.
Yeah.
They're
If you tried to have sex with her, this thing it was razor blades or something, and it would like clamp onto your dick.
yeah, they have those now. It's like a female condom, and they're selling them or giving them away in Africa actually as a deterrent to rape, where it's rampant.
That's got to be the worst thing that could happen to me ever.
Well, then you shouldn't be raping no
at some
girls.
point some chick's gonna be gonna find out her boyfriend cheated on her, and she's gonna do that to him.
Oh man, I can see it now.
You're right.
I would.
You got to stereotype
Yeah.
those women too. You look at her. She's pounding those drinks like she don't care. She got her rape axe on today.
And what if?
Oh no!
And what if the chick has? Imagine this scenario. Imagine if the chick has it in, she gets drunk and she goes home with you, and she forgets she has it in.
Well, all the more reason to eat it before you stick it.
All right,
That's why you put the fingers in first.
You put the fingers. Now you're gonna lose your tongue, Wings. Have a nice day.
Ooh.
You're gonna sound like White Boy 7th Street doing commentary now.
Oh, man. I had a joke to go along with it.
Oh,
I was going to be like, Kyle, you never been in a pie eating contest?
Oh my! Oh,
All right. Did anyone else have topics prepared? Bash, what kind of grades did you get in high school?
High school was cool for me. I was always all right in high school. Like I did good in my first 3 years, and we had 4 years of high school. and in my last year, I did so horribly bad. I don't know why. I just got distracted and didn't pay as much attention as I should have. But I went to summer school. My last semester was the only class that I ever failed. So I wasn't going to graduate.
I'm familiar with the concept.
So I had to hit up summer school, and I got lucky. I got a good grade, and I ended up getting into university after all. So
nice. I went to summer school, and I was there with, if any of you guys are from the Philadelphia area, I went with Tug McGraw's daughter. And she and I were in this English class, and took summer
Who's
school.
Tug McGraw?
Tug McGraw is a Hall of Fame pitcher. He played for the Phillies. Was he a pitcher? Is how I have that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say he was.
Yep. Yeah, he was a relief pitcher apparently.
Guy was a gangster. Relief. All right. Closers. He wasn't. I don't think he was a closer, but closers in baseball have a mindset. And this is completely off topic. I just want to say this though. They have a mindset and a mentality and a skill set that no other sport really calls for. And those are some of my favorite athletes. Closers in baseball are my favorite. When John Smoltz was closing for the Braves, he was untouchable. And then I remember the fucking All-Star game. They put in that fucking bitch Gagne from who did Eric Gagne close for?
Dodgers.
Dodgers. They put him in instead of fucking Smoltz, and National League lost again.
No, Gagne broke the record that year, though. I remember that.
Gagne was on steroids. Smoltz is a gangster. Smoltz is going to play pro fucking golf. He golfs with Tiger Woods and kicks his ass. Smoltz is a monster, and they put Gagne, that fat fuck Gagne, in.
I got a question, though. I'm not a big sports fan, but I followed baseball when I was a kid, so I know about Smoltz because I lived down here toward the Atlanta area, and, Braves are a big thing. Why did Smoltz go from a starter, which he was an all-star starting pitcher, to a closer? How does that transition happen?
All right, Smoltz was obviously Smoltz all-star starting pitcher, ERA always 3 or below. Guy was a gangster, and he blew out his arm, and he had to have Tommy John surgery. So when he came back, they wanted to ease him into it. You can't be throwing 100 pitches a game. He as a closer, you're going to be throwing like 30 pitches tops, but you're giving it all you got every single pitch, and that was a better rehab for him than being a starting pitcher. So he is the only pitcher who has ever made the transition from starter to closer and back to starter and been successful the whole way. That guy is my favorite athlete of all time, and he is a awesome guy. I've met him. He does charity work all the time. He does like local radio, and like I said, he's not just a baseball athlete. Like that guy golfs with Woods, and I think he's going to start on. It's not the pro tour, but it's some like a level below. It's like a senior tour or something, and he's amazing. I love that guy.
Yeah, Smoltz has some competition too. He had Maddox and Glavine.
That'll never happen again. There will never be a team like the 1995. I want to say was it 94 or 95? 94, I believe. When they won the World Series, it was even 94 or 95. I should know that, but they had Smoltz.
The 95 Braves had Mark Wohlers too. Whatever the fuck happened to him? He had like a 108-mile-an-hour fastball.
102, and he. All right, remember when they played the Yankees in the World Series that year, and he said all this stuff about New York he shouldn't have said. I know his dad. His dad was my mom's boss at one time, and he was like, I can't believe he said that stupid shit. Now he's on every newspaper in the country for hating on New York. Because basically he said that like New York was full of freaks, and they're in the subway. He's talking about homosexuals in the subways and freaks and all these like messed up people that he was seeing, and how he hates New York and stuff. Like as they're playing New York in the World Series, so. Probably not a good idea because they're throwing D-cell batteries at you when you storm onto the field. Then, buddy.
Oh, I just want to throw out there. Turns out Tug McGraw didn't actually make the Hall of Fame. He was a beast, but not a Hall of Famer. So I think I just saved myself like 25,000 personal messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too much of a baseball fan myself. The last thing I really remember about baseball is the Toronto Blue Jays winning in '92 and '93.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
remember
that when Joe Carter went to the triple deck.
Did they beat the Phillies?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I
Joe
remember about
Carter.
'93 is Joe Carter hit like the sixth deck of the Sky Dome with a home run.
Yeah, he went off. That guy was like my hero. I had a T-shirt. I was like, I was like 7. I had a little T-shirt. I remember. Used to walk around with that shit every day. Joe Carter, man.
I pull the names out my ass. I only watch sports. Joe Carter, I'm the man. You know how I remember Joe Carter? I used to have like a Sega game that was based off the '93 era, World Series baseball.
Yeah, I remember I had a game for Sega Saturn, and I would always play as the Braves. And I remember Fred McGriff could hit a 500. I think I hit a 580-foot home run one time with that guy, gangster. He was
So,
the first baseman at the time.
This fall, which is going to be the bigger game, Halo or Black Ops?
Black Ops.
Black Ops for sure.
I'm not digging Reach at all. I mean, I was watching a Notch Johnson video the other day, and he went like a 20-3 in Halo Team Slayer, and I'm sitting there thinking, Notch is a good player, no credibility to him, but I'm on par with him, and I can't pull 20-3 on Reach. Why the fuck can't I pull 20-3 on Reach? It's like
whichever game is going to sell more is going to depend completely on advertising. If Bungie advertises like Activision did for Modern Warfare 2, they'll sell more. If Activision advertises Black Ops like they did Modern Warfare 2, they'll sell more. It's all about the advertising. That's all it is.
I think Black Ops going to blow Reach out the water.
As far as being a better game and a game that's going to appeal to the masses more, I think Black Ops is that game because Call of Duty in general is a big difference between a game where you can, let's face it, in any Call of Duty game, even Call of Duty 2, which is considered the more skill-based game of all of them. You can pick up an MP44 and just spray from the hip, and if you get lucky, you're going to kill the guy in a couple bullets. Halo, stand there with your assault rifle and spray a guy all day, you're not going to get a kill. Unless you know what you're doing, you know how to strafe, and you know how to put that grenade on him beforehand or that melee afterwards. It's just not going to happen. You don't get kills in Halo unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think now especially like Call of Duty just seems to be the more like average Joe's game. Like I know a lot of guys who don't even take games seriously at all, but all of my friends have Modern Warfare 2, Not a lot of them really play Halo too much. It's just like Kyle said, it takes a lot more know-how to play that. Call of Duty's more of a, you can pick it up and you can play it right away.
It's for weekend warrior gamers.
Yeah, but see,
yeah, exactly.
Like Bash, you were all about Reach when it came out, but now you hate the game too.
Yeah, I was. I'm not gonna lie. The hype just engulfed me, and when I played it, I was like, I suck at this game. Like I'm just gonna be real with myself and tell myself the truth. I suck, and I have more fun playing Call of Duty. So, even though I have nothing against the game itself, it might be a good game, but for me, it's not for me. Like I'm a Call of Duty player.
I have trouble dealing with the grenades.
Yeah. I don't like the reticle bloom, and I don't know if somebody else had if that was something Bungie named that, or if I heard Blame Truth say it last night. I don't know. I guess maybe that's the.
I've read it online too. It's widely known.
Okay, that's what he called it, and I was like, oh, that's a perfect name for that. I guess that's what it's called, but I don't like that. All right, I just don't. In case you guys don't know, basically you've got the reticle. You've got like a circle that you put that's where your bullet's going to go, and every time you shoot, that circle expands to about 5 times its normal size, and then it shrinks back down pretty much instantly. And that's to prevent you from firing rapidly with like the DMR. It makes it so that the shots are like 1/5 as accurate if you rapid fire.
It adds one more piece to the skill, right? You can't just get on target and get like 3 hits. Every single hit needs to be re-aimed.
Yeah, see, you're saying this skill. I'm looking at it this way. It makes it easier to stay alive for the other player.
That's true. And, it wasn't until these guys made the argument that the entire Halo community is more skilled than Call of Duty that anything made sense, because they say, oh, in Halo it's so hard to kill people. Yeah, well, it's so hard to die, right? It's all even. To me, the big difference, I was going to say the big difference is that how much time you've invested in the game. there are people Halo's been like top 3 game for the last couple of years now. So there are guys who never left it. When Halo 3 came out, they just kept playing and playing and playing and playing. And I think that these are guys who, well, some of them are just going to like Halo better, and some of them probably came into Call of Duty, excuse me, and didn't want to like invest the time that it takes to be above average Call of Duty player. They're like, I like kicking butt in Halo, and that's that. And we're kind of in the opposite spot. We're doing pretty well in Call of Duty, and then we come to Halo and we say, do I want to go through the 3 to 6 months of butt kicking that it takes to be a better than average player, to be a force in this game?
Here's my thing. And all right, we're in the the gaming video making business, I guess you could say. So it's in our best nature to make videos of games that are interesting to watch and that lend themselves to entertaining videos. And I don't think Halo is that kind of game. I watched $2 the other day, and he had a great video on Machinima. I want to say he went 26-0. I may be completely wrong, but it was something like that on the Reach beta. And I enjoyed his commentary, and he did don't get me wrong, he did a great job with the gameplay. Like, he's a great player at that game as well as Halo 3. But it's the game that wasn't entertaining, not his gameplay, if you know what I mean. I just prefer watching Call of Duty. I don't think that game's a very exciting game unless montages in Halo are really cool.
Why do you think Halo's not exciting to watch? Like, what is it about
Because it's slow paced, and it's like you really can't just own face like you can in Call of Duty. In Call of Duty, you can run into a room, and you can. I saw a video the other night. It was like a little highlight video from COD 4. The guy got a 10-man spray with an RPD. Now, obviously, it's just luck and a fluke, and he'll never do that again. But
at
that's
least it's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
I'm all cool about playing a slow-paced game. I just can't stand putting 4 shots into a guy with the DMR. His shields drop, and he runs away. I try to get him running away, but the reticle's going everywhere.
It's a 4-shot headshot, right? I realized that the other night.
Yeah, 3 shots take the shields down. The 4th one, you got to get the head. But usually after they take 2 good hits, they're running. If they're not like right on top of you.
I want to say
You're off by 1. It's 4 to the body, 1 to the head.
Yeah, that's the deal. It's 4 to the body and then 1 to the head, or 4 to the head.
Yeah, but have you ever tried connecting 5 shots with that weapon, which has 12 rounds? You can connect 5 shots across map and hope they don't get away from you.
Or better yet, if you're not in pro mode, which I have a strong preference for pro. I like it a lot more. But if I'm not in it, I play with the pistol most of the time, and you have to hit 5 times and you have 7 bullets, and that's a challenge too.
And
I don't really care for that game too much. I don't know.
I mean, y'all played with me. I get 17 assists a freaking game. It's because I'm a support player when I'm playing first-person shooters. I like to pick a weapon that has high marksmanship value and just pick people off.
By the way, I learned what an assist is in Halo. So, as you know, an assist in Modern Warfare means you got a bullet on him. You don't get an assist in Halo unless you did 40% of the damage. So if you're getting 17 assists, you're doing more than getting 1 bullet on guys as they're running by.
I'm tearing them up. I'm putting them in the fucking in the crypt. But they get away from me, and their shields regen.
The night I play with you, I wasn't getting the same thing, but that's typical of me too. If I get 8 kills, I often get between 12 and 16 assists. And then I look at my teammates, and they're not getting that. They're finishing players. And I'm like, wow, what are they doing that's so different than me? How are they getting that finish? And they might just be hitting their headshots a little better. They might be, just playing in a different style that leads them to get cleanups while I get initial engagements, catching them in the center or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but see me, I'm thinking right now, I want to play some Reach because I want to see if I slow my shots down, will I be more successful? The thing about Reach that keeps me going back to it is I'm not good at it. And when I'm not good at something and I know I can be good at it, I want to figure it out. If you kind of catch my drift.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I forgot what I was about to say.
Nice.
But don't think about it and they'll come to you.
Yep.
Is that how that works? Hey, you know what? I've asked most of the guys. Cal, what kind of grades did you get in high school?
I told you last time. It was really bad.
I didn't pay attention.
Really bad grades, but really great test scores.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Didn't you bust out with a 14-something on the SATs?
Yeah, 14.25.
Yeah. See, I got old school SAT scores. I wonder where they rank.
Yeah, mine was too. Mine was before the essay.
See, y'all talking about this. I'm sure thinking the
Use a
grenades need to
calculator?
only take shields.
Did you use a calculator?
We weren't allowed calculators in school.
No, on the SATs.
They gave us a piece of scrap paper. That's all we got.
Oh, that reminds me of something I wanted to say earlier. You're talking about summer school. I had summer school one time, and I was in there because I didn't pay attention in algebra. And I got stuck in there with these retards. The other kids in the I felt so ashamed to be in there because of the people that I was grouped with. There was this group of guys. I was like a freshman at the time, and these guys were all like 18 years old, and they weren't. The math level that they were in was so low they weren't allowed calculators.
So they were in the
Because it was
tax
basic
class.
It was basic mathematics, so they weren't
How to
allowed
calculate your
calculators.
tax at the supermarket.
And I'm over there doing algebra, so I've got a scientific calculator, and they're like, "Yo, man, let me get that calculator." Like, no, dude, no, you're not allowed a calculator. And occasionally one of them would like sneak one, and he would like be so sneaky over there with his calculator, like, yeah, 10
Like
times,
you're only hurting yourself,
10 times
dog.
4. 10 times 4. I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me right now?
That's the problem. I could never. People like, you be a good teacher, good history. I couldn't deal with this kid like that. Be like, dude, you're only hurting yourself. Why the hell are you grabbing that calculator? You know, when somebody cheats you out your check at work and you can't figure out that you earned this amount of money, what the fuck you gonna do? You're gonna go hungry. You know.
I mean, if there's anybody out there listening to this and you don't know what 10 times 4 is, fucking kill yourself because you're going to have a hard life. You might as well.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people.
See, you should be telling her that, Kyle. Everybody should get in the beta.
No. Oh, my God. I'm not even kidding. If you're out there and you don't know what 10 times 4 is,
Please
instantly, I'm not
unsubscribe
talking
from
about,
Wings of Redemption. Because
yeah, and
I
I'm
know
not
you are.
talking about you got to be like, let's see, 1 times 4 plus 2 zeros. Okay, yeah. No, if you didn't know immediately that it was 40, kill yourself.
Kyle, you're a
Hang
bad
yourself
person.
to the skylight.
Kyle, you're a bad person.
I'm just saying, if you don't know what 10 times 4 is, your life is worthless. You're not going to contribute anything to society. I'm just going to end up paying for your welfare with my taxes. That's where this is going.
I'm
Well, you
going to
need
say,
some of those
if you
people.
don't know what 10 times 4 is, kill the bad man who doesn't like you.
Wow. I don't
Careful, he's armed.
You know, Kyle, you should go ahead and give them advice on how Woody could have successfully hung himself. Because if they don't know what 10 times 4 is, they're not going to be able to problem solve this.
yeah. Oh, and by the way, guys, the best way to kill yourself, I'll never understand, like, all right, there's suicide attempts that are like cries for help and attention seeking, but there are legitimately people who can't kill themselves. And I'm like, you are the epitome of failure. Like, no, just kill yourself. Just do it. Jump in front of a car, dead. Tie a cinder block to your foot and jump in the pool, dead.
Okay, so wait a minute. Jumping in front of a
That's a
car,
bad way to
that's
go.
not a guaranteed death.
I'm talking about a big car. I'm talking about a semi-truck.
Jump from a high story. That's really easy. If you can't do that,
That's not
if you can't do that,
Yeah, if
I
you
don't
have
know.
access to a tall enough building, you'd think that would lock it in, although not necessarily. The surefire way, I think, is firearms, but not everyone has access to
Yeah, I've seen people fail at that too, and they're like,
Yeah, there's a guy in my town who you see him walking around sometimes and like half of his face is gone because he failed at shooting himself in the head.
Really?
and he's allowed to walk around in the city.
Well, what are you going to do?
I think the surefire
Lock his
way,
ass up.
the surefire way is get you a bottle of bleach and you drink that shit.
You could throw up. See, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's gonna come catch you and just induce, some throw up.
If you want a
if-
quick,
if you
painless
take a
death,
big
I'm
enough
liking the
swig-
building idea.
Yeah, but see, most people who die from buildings actually die from the heart attack on the way down.
I don't
And if-
believe that.
That
That's
I mean,
not true. Heart attacks take a while.
And if you're a light guy, if you're like, a 90-pound guy,
You might just float. You
No,
might just
seriously.
float.
when you fall at that level, you fall at 139 miles an hour or something like that,
150.
150. But the fact is, you hit twice when you fall like that, and if you don't have the body mass to crush the bones, you will survive.
I don't know
believe
about that.
that.
I know the terminal
No, no,
velocity.
That's not
that is
true.
Terminal.
In World War II, people like World War II and during the Battle of Omaha, These guys, they would go and their gliders would be too low for their parachutes to deploy, and they survived. I think it was like a 900-foot fall because they were so damn light. They dropped their packs and they hit. What happens is your bones hit first, and then the frame of your body hits second, like almost immediately after it, and the body's weight and mass crushes the bone. That's what the crushing impact comes from, because it's two separate entities.
I'm saying that based on all the medical knowledge I picked up by watching ER and Chicago Hope, that's not what kills people. I'm going to say that it's the bang on the brain damage they get when the head hits the ground. That's probably the principal thing that kills people.
You could fall from long distance and not hit your head if you fall right.
Well, we're going for suicide here, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing a nosedive.
Yeah, but we're talking about people who can't do 10 times 4. They're not going to think about the nosedive. They're going to walk over the edge. They're going to probably go feet first and break their legs and shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but if you fall hard enough, your body might just go into shock and you might just die from that. So,
what would be the surefire way of dying? Get somebody else to do it for you. Right there.
Yeah, just get someone to chop your head off, right? That'd be really the only way.
Yeah, no one survives that.
Here's my insurance money. You're my beneficiary. Kill my ass.
All right, we're at 1 hour. Does anyone have any closing thoughts better than that one?
Yeah, if you don't know what 10 times 4 is, please go ahead and unsubscribe from my channel, because I know some of you don't.
You can subscribe to mine if you don't want to subscribe to his. I don't mind.
Subscribe to Bash.
Bash doesn't mind having literally retarded people subscribe.
I might when I hit your guys' level, but when I'm at 4,000,
they be over like, Bash, what does your girlfriend's favorite commentator mean?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Bash, you did a good job. Appreciate you speaking
up. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And next week I'll try and pick a happy story.
I actually got. Let me go ahead and say this before we close this out. Mm-hmm. I actually did have Brad Jones for this week, which is the Cinema Snob, and he messaged me halfway through the podcast saying he had just got home and he forgot completely about it, and he has a lock-in for next week. So if you guys are looking for the Cinema Snob, he will be on here next week. I know I'm excited up for it. But it's been Painkiller already, episode 4. Please leave your thoughts, your comments, your rates, and all your blessings. Send them over to Woody, because I don't want to hear them.
All right.
Send me money.
Kyle wants money and Bash wants subscribers.
Have a good week, guys.
Have a good week.
Later.
Take care, y'all.
I hit stop.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Painkiller already for the 5th week. We have our usual ensemble of clowns and midgets, and who do we have as our guest this week?
Hey, it's me, Brad Jones, a Cinema Snob.
Nice. I'm loving the radio voice, man. I'm already digging it.
I like it a lot, too.
So
that's a nice voice. And of course, as always, got myself and Woody's gamer tag as well. And I'm just going to steal Woody's intro. Woody doesn't even get to talk now.
I'm okay.
Dude, bummer. That's harsh.
So go ahead, Blake. I was going to say you had some Cinema Snob questions?
Yes, I do. I said I'm happy to have you on, Brad, because I didn't catch you on your YouTube phase. I caught you on the Rebound where Spoonie had called you out and said, "Well, he's not on YouTube no more. Where can you find him?" And
that works out because my stuff now is a lot better than it ever was on YouTube.
I went back and watched everything you did. I was hooked from the first thing. That's why I asked you about before we started. I asked you about how many hits you get, because I noticed on your site, like some of your older videos, like Burial Grounds only has like 5 comments, while some of your newer stuff has over 70.
Yeah. Like in that particular case, I mean, the Burial Ground video had been on had been available for quite a while. So when that particular video was on YouTube, it had a lot of comments. But when it was first put on the cinemasnob.com, it was put in there within like a stretch of like a few days where like a total of maybe 50 or 60 videos had been put up, and it was all like my backlog. So a lot of those didn't particularly get a lot of the comments on like the cinemasnob.com, but on YouTube, since they've been there for a couple of years, they certainly got a lot on there.
Yeah, I mean, you can have Woody Kataka test me. I'll be like, you ever heard of the Simmerstein? They'd be like, no. I'm like, what the fuck you doing, living under a rock?
Yeah. he's a huge fan.
Thank you very much.
I love old movies, and I've probably seen almost every movie known to man.
Nice. Even some classic obscure ones like Porno Holocaust or Curse of the Cannibal Confederates.
Have you seen Russian Ninja?
I've seen the Cannibal Confederates. Yep.
Have you seen Russian Ninja?
Oh my god.
My subscribers keep talking about Russian Ninja. They said it's famous.
Russian Ninja.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen Russian Ninja. I'm sure I probably own it. with a lot of the stuff that I get in the mail, I'm just looking at my shelf right now. I see there's Robot Ninja, there's Ninja Terminator. I'm sure somewhere I probably own that, but no, I've never seen that one. I've never seen that one before.
So did you like give your address out to like listeners and fans and stuff so they can?
If someone writes to me and says they have something they want to send me, I give them an address to send it to. Like I don't have it listed on my site or anything like that.
Yeah, that wouldn't. I wouldn't do. I've given my address out twice because people have sent. Like, we do gaming videos, and people have sent me games before because they wanted me to play a certain game, and but yeah, I would be pretty hesitant to do that, especially if I was I don't know, Wings of Redemption. Because I mean, best case scenario, you're gonna get some dog shit in the mail. Worst case scenario,
it's no different than what I usually review. What's send me dog shit? Fantastic. This is a step up.
Oh, here's a question for you. Mm-hmm. You know, the Painkiller already actor of the year. Well, our dedicated actor is William Shatner.
Oh, hell yes.
Do you think he could beat Pierre Kirby in a fist fight?
Let's see. In the 80s, back when no. As much as William Shatner is one of my favorite actors of all time. Pierre Kirby, he's pretty quick. He's pretty fast. He's got some pretty good moves. Back in the day, you go back to like
little Bob and
87. You go back to like 87, 88. Yeah, I think Pierre Kirby would probably win that.
I'm watching him. I didn't know who Pierre Kirby was, and I'm sure some of our listeners, I'm positive won't know. Just type in Pierre Kirby. I'm watching him right now. He's dressed as like a lot like a Power Ranger. If my
is it where he's wearing? Is it
the Power Rangers?
Is it the one where he's wearing the pink?
He's got yellow pants with like a white, I don't know, like kimono type thing on, and he's got a red bandana.
I think that's Zombie versus Ninja. Full Metal Ninja is the one where he's wearing pink. Full Metal Ninja, he wears a pink jumpsuit and a yellow bandana.
That's the one I'm looking at. This guy can definitely beat William Shatner. Where's the question here?
Hey, I'm talking about G.J. Hooker, William Shatner here.
No. We're talking about.
You're asking if Pierre Kirby.
Shatner.
You're asking if Pierre Kirby can beat Shatner's stunt double?
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about the William Shatner who beat up the Lizard Man on that planet.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Shatner's got a 6-shot service revolver versus Pierre Kirby's 1-shot pirate gun.
Well, then you got to look at Thunder the Gigantic Serpent, because in that one, Pierre Kirby's got a 45.
Yeah, I'm watching him with a beret on, a red beret and some camos. Is that the movie you're talking about?
Yeah, that's Thunder of the. That's actually my favorite one of his, Thunder of the Gigantic Serpent. He's not in that one as much as he's in a lot of the other ones, but as far as like the whole movie in itself goes, that's actually my favorite one of his.
This might be in 1911. It'd probably jam up.
Oh. Oh.
I'm sorry. I try to do inside jokes in the podcast, but Wings and I had a discussion about this, and he thinks that 1911s are super reliable, but they're widely known not to be. The first thing you do is get work on them so they become reliable. That was the dig.
My thing is, you don't make a handgun 99 years and have it be unreliable.
You don't let 100 years go by and not notice some sort of room for improvement. But anyway,
exactly.
We're on the wrong topic here. We're here to talk about Pierre Kirby's fighting prowess.
Exactly.
All right. Here's another thing.
The Lizard Man would have destroyed him. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I've never seen Pierre Kirby fuck some blue bitches. I haven't done it.
Exactly.
That's because he didn't make enough movies. You'd given him some time, guaranteed he would have.
They had wings. You got more?
Yeah, I got more. The big movie that came out last week, which is the week I was hoping to have Brad on, which is the Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't seen this movie yet, but I just heard the title and I loathe. You know that deep, deep inner sigh?
Uh-huh.
What do you think about the movies in their new age where everything's a remake and everything's like a rehash of something else? You got to think like...
I don't care. Honestly, I mean, like, remakes, they've been around since the dawn of movies. I mean, yeah, there certainly are a lot nowadays, but it's not a new thing. It's always been going on. Even some movies that are remakes of something, they're remakes of something that already was a remake.
Yeah.
Like the remake of Last House on the Left. Well, 1972 Last House on the Left was a remake of The Virgin Spring. You know, there's a prequel to The Thing coming out, and one from the 80s was a remake. So I don't get as angry about it as a lot of other people do. As long as it's okay. I mean, certainly there are crap remakes out there. There's the Prom Night remake. There's the Stepfather remake. The Hitcher. There's the April Fool's Day remake. I mean, there are some horrible, horrible remakes out there. Friday the 13th was terrible. Yeah, the Friday the 13th remake. But you know, I mean, as long as it's an okay movie, I'm not going to complain that it's a remake. You know, does it need to exist? No, but it does, and if it's okay, but if it exists and it's okay, then you know, there'll always be the original.
I'm hesitant to even call it a remake, but how do you feel about movies like The Dark Knight and how that basically it seems like a lot of the newer remakes that are remakes they're going toward a more darker version of the classic.
I think that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. Like, because I mean, you know, certainly before The Dark Knight, before Batman Begins, you know, my favorite Batman movie was the 1989 Michael Keaton, and that by far was the darkest of that whole quadrilogy. That and the second and Batman Returns. So yeah, I like that. That you know, it's back to being incredibly dark. I think that's cool when you put like some kind of dark spin on something.
Yeah, whenever Tim Burton.
I'll jump in. I was gonna say I'm not the movie guy here, but to me, a good movie is a good movie. It doesn't matter if it's a remake.
Yeah. That's
they're all.
Yeah,
remakes.
I mean,
you're not gonna have a new story.
I mean, I'm the guy who loves like Italian knockoff movies like Bruno Mattei's Terminator 2 and Jaws 5 and stuff like that. So there is part of me that is kind of like, well, I feel kind of hypocritical if I trashed one thing for being a ripoff, but you know, one of my favorite directors is Bruno Mattei, who all of it, every other one of his movies is a exploitation flick.
You know, I liked Dark Knight. I liked the new Star Trek. And
I love it.
They were well done. The new Star Trek in particular, with the whole time travel thing, I thought they found
that was fantastic.
They had an elegant way to sort of say, look, you know, we're going to tell a Star Trek story, and we're not going to follow the canon that was there before, and this is why. And it's like, oh,
It basically opened the window for 5 more Star Trek movies that are nothing like what we've seen before.
Exactly. And I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more. It'll be fucking fantastic.
Yeah, but see me, I'm the other way. I mean, I don't want to watch a Nightmare on Elm Street movie without Robert Englund.
I know, right? Like, come on.
I don't want to do it. I mean, just don't make them.
If it was any other person besides Jackie Earle Haley, I would have been pissed off. But Jackie Earle Haley was pretty good.
I don't know. The new guy in the new guy's makeup, he looks like a real burn victim, not like Robert Englund did. He looks like. It looks like to me that if I threw some vinegar on this guy or like some alcohol or something, I'd be all set because he'd just be screaming and writhing in pain. Like, I'm not afraid of this guy.
I don't necessarily
sick,
think
Kyle.
so. He gets his hands chopped off in the movie, and that didn't phase him. I don't think vinegar's the guy.
That's an effective counter argument. I'm going with the cinema snob here.
I gotta go with this one as well. Another thing that's ticked me off about movies recently is the lack of sequel numbers.
Oh,
This is-
yeah.
This is
Oh,
bothering me.
how it's just like a subtitle or something?
No,
or-
like Rambo, for example. Nothing
Oh,
can
I
stop
see what you're
Rambo from being Rambo 4.
yeah.
I mean, I would have still seen it.
Yeah.
And the fact is, like, Rambo is not a good example in the next point. Like, all these films are going for, like, PG-13 ratings now instead of the R rating.
Oh yeah, I refuse to go see any movie that's edited down to a PG-13. Like I'll wait till the DVD comes out and watch it uncut. There's no way that would be like paying to watch an edited movie on TBS. It makes absolutely
Oh my
no
God.
sense.
That's
In
what's
regards to
disgusting.
in regards to slasher films, it makes absolutely no sense. It's pathetic. If you edit down a slasher film to a PG-13, it's the equivalent of editing the funny parts out of a comedy. It makes no sense.
You know that lack of sequel numbers is headed over to video games too. Like Resident Evil had numbers. It's cool, but like Dead to Rights Retribution, what is that? Dead to Rights 2 maybe?
Yeah.
You know, so it's a trend that's headed.
I think the worst example of that recently was when they called Final Destination 4 The Final Destination.
God.
Which, even if you're calling it that to say this is the final destination, the final one, it still makes absolutely no sense because they're making another one.
Imagine in like 5 years when like people don't really remember those movies and and some video stores trying to organize those movies and they've got Final Destination and The Final Destination and they're like, the fuck, which one was first?
Video store.
Are these the same fucking movie?
What is this video store you speak of? That problem will solve itself.
You know, I think video stores are becoming a thing of the past. Maybe it's just in my area, but like,
Unfortunately, you're right. The video store that I used to work at just closed like last week.
same thing
like
here.
all the-
but-
Must have been a movie gallery.
Yep.
ours was a Hollywood Video.
Ours was a
like all the
Blockbuster.
Hollywood.
Yeah, which is owned by Movie Gallery.
Yeah. Like all of them were closed down. Like I was sad, man. I loved working there. I thought it was great. But we still have. I don't know if where you guys are, they have the Family Video chain. Which is, if you don't, Family Video is just great because it's called that. Yet it's like the video store like in town that carries all the porn. So they're still up and running here in the Midwest. But yeah, they're like the only ones here in town that are still going strong.
I wonder if Blockbuster lost out on a lot of potential revenue by not having any porn in it.
Yeah,
Of course.
I'm sure.
Pornography is that's why VHS won. All right.
Mhm.
No, it is. VHS
I've heard
VHS
that.
would not have won if they had not put porn on it.
Yeah.
That's why HD. What was it? HD DVD. HD DVD
Yeah.
would not do porno.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They like the format decided they weren't going to support pornography?
I believe so.
Why? I mean, if I could put porno on my YouTube videos, I would do it.
Oh my God! I have
Some
100,000
people-
subscribers.
Some companies, ironically, they get fucked by their own morals.
It's
Is Blockbuster run by Mormons or something? I heard that rumor. Is it true?
They're run by I don't know, but they're run by people who they don't stock porn. They used to not stock anything higher than an R rating, so you would never find like an uncut version of. I think nowadays you can find uncut stuff in there, but it used to be that nothing higher than an R, so no NC-17, no unrated stuff, and no porn, which is why I never shopped at Blockbuster. To my recollection, I've never had an account at Blockbuster Video.
Yeah,
they got money.
Blockbuster shut down in my area, but I didn't even
Mine
miss
too.
them. I had switched over to Netflix a year before, and that's why.
Yeah, I signed up for a Zune account, so I'm pretty good set.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the one good thing about the movie store going out of business, I think they said they're completely shutting down in like 3 months. So I'm gonna be going there. I'm gonna be getting a lot of cheap DVDs and video games. I'm clearing them out because I know they're gonna be selling that stuff cheap.
Oh yeah, dude.
A movie that I've always wanted to see that I've never seen, and it's kind of stupid because I'm a pretty big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and I've seen like I don't know, the Hercules movie he had.
Hercules in New York.
Hercules in New York.
Yeah.
I've seen one where he was the cowboy and he wasn't even the main character.
The villain.
Yeah,
The villain. Yeah, that was a good one.
Of course, Conan the Barbarian movies, all those. I've seen them all, except for the one where he's the Russian police officer. It's like Red something.
Red Heat? You've
Red
never
Heat.
seen Red Heat?
Never seen Red Heat.
Dude, Red Heat's one of his best. Oh my God, Red Heat is awesome.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh man, oh dude, yeah, go pick up Red Heat. Oh my God, yeah, if you're an Arnold fan, it is glorious.
Oh, I've seen Red Heat with James Belushi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Back in the 80s when James Belushi didn't completely suck.
Oh, man. I can't think of an Arnold movie that I haven't seen. I mean, I've literally seen every single one of his movies except
Same
for that.
here, yeah. I agree. I cannot think of one. Oh man, I fucking grew up on the Arnold movies. I've even seen like Scavenger Hunt.
I've seen them all, yeah.
Yeah. Pumping Iron and
Pumping Iron was one of his best.
Pumping Iron's
I
great.
think his worst has got to be Hercules in New York, though. I remember there's one part where
Hercules
guy-
in New York is it's
the guy-
hilarious.
yeah, it's funny. Like the guy tells him he's like I'm the captain. You have to salute me or something. He's like no man is superior to Hercules. It's like,
No matter what version you watch of that, it is hilarious. On the one hand, you got the dubbed version where they dub over Arnold, and it's just hysterical. Then on the other, you have the regular audio version when he does not know a word of English when he made that movie. He literally does not understand what he's saying. So right there, like either version you watch is just comedic gold.
oh man.
All right, I'm gonna steer us one more. I got one more thing. Me and Kyle was just talking about this. It might be me and Crunk Skunk. Well, Death Wish is getting remade, and
Yeah.
I'm a huge Charles Bronson fan, and Sylvester
Oh, me
Stallone
too.
is doing it.
See, yeah, I got a problem with that. Like, and I like Sylvester Stallone. Same with Arnold. I mean, I've seen about all the Stallone movies. But my only problem with that is that Death Wish and movies like Death Wish, like The Exterminator, and like even like Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon, movies like that are really effective because it's just this regular, ordinary guy who's pushed to the limit and goes vigilante. Stallone, and I really like Stallone. I don't want to see him as Paul Kersey.
He's too built. I mean,
He's too built. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and that's why I
Here
said
are the two guys that I wanted. Number
Yeah.
one would be Jim Carrey. Number two would be
That would
Kurt
be good.
Russell.
Kurt Russell would be.
Jim Carrey. I want Jim Carrey to be Paul Kersey.
I could see Jim Carrey taking on. Really? I mean, as much as I didn't like the number 23, he was good in it.
Wait, what?
Oh, that maybe I didn't see that. But has Jim Carrey played any serious roles?
Yeah, number 20.
Oh yeah. Yeah, number 23 was a psychological thriller.
He was that Spotless Sunset on a Spotless Mind.
Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, Eternal
The
Sunshine.
Majestic.
The Majestic. Good. Jim
Uh,
Carrey's a good actor.
I mean, like, just look at Cable Guy, for example. It's not one of his more serious movies, but he goes dark in that movie. And you can see he can be a fun-loving guy, and then when, like his wife and kids get raped, he just turns into, like, this zoned-out, dark character.
Yeah, I would much rather see that than Sylvester Stallone play Paul Kersey.
And I think Kurt Russell has played parts where he's kind of that kind of guy anyway. Like what's that movie, The Breakdown or whatever? Breakdown.
Breakdown was great. Remember what was it called? Unlawful Entry with Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Where that was great. Ray Liotta's the crazy cop stalking him. That was a good one.
Liotta could probably pull that off. I like all those guys, even Val Kilmer. But I do think that Jim Carrey or Kurt Russell would be my top two. But Stallone is obviously going to make it into Stallone's going to go hardcore with it, and
Michael Keaton. There. I would put Michael Keaton.
Oh, Michael Keaton be another good choice.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Stallone directing the movie, but he needs to not take the top billing. He needs to get another actor to play Paul Kersey.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's already in production.
Yeah. I'll still go see it, but I don't like that choice.
I mean, I bet it's gonna be it'll be ultra violent and it's got to be an R-rated movie. You can't make that.
Yeah. It's going to be an R-rated. Stallone already said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh man, did you see, the last Rambo was great. It was like, wow, it was freaking Rambo crossed with Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, I like when he disemboweled the guy at the end. And I love that they make your villain a pedophile. That's like a cherry on the top. Like
Dude, oh my god, I remember when that happened in the movie. I'm sitting in the theaters like, as if this guy wasn't evil enough already. He's this crazy genocidal dictator, and on top of that, he's a pedophile. That was glorious. Yeah, I agree.
It's like I mean, imagine if they did it in Star Wars. If Darth Vader's come to my chambers, little Padawan. You know, like he is the most evil man in the galaxy.
Best space movie ever.
What are your off side? You're not a Death Wish fan?
You know, I just don't have the movie background you guys do. Death Wish.
A Death Wish,
Dude,
man.
even I'm
Charlie
too
Bronson.
young for Death Wish. When did that come out?
74.
I was
Or 70.
I was freaking 1. Like
I'm 24. I'm 24, Woody. I've seen them all.
You're retro, baby.
I remember there was a marathon one day on one of the movie channels, and I don't remember which movie channel it was, but it wasn't one of the like pussy ones that like cut all the language out. It was like a legit version of the movie. And I watched like all, I don't know, there's like, what is it, like 4 or 5? Yeah, I watched them all. By the 5th one, that dude's like 80 years old.
Still choking bitches out with a shotgun.
Charlie Bronson, he was still doing cop flicks in the 80s, man. Like Murphy's Law, that was cool. 10 to Midnight was really cool. Even when he was like freaking pushing 70, man, he was.
I don't like that. I don't like it when actors play, outside their physical abilities.
I don't mind that as long as they look the part. As long as they look for the part for it, I have absolutely no problem with it whatsoever. And Charles Bronson, even Sylvester Stallone now, still looks the part for these characters. I have a problem with it when they don't, when it's like Roger Moore in A View to a Kill. He's 60 years old playing James Bond, is sweating bullets every time he takes a step.
Yeah.
That bugs me a lot. And even Stallone in, what was the last Rambo film called?
Rambo.
No number. That's right. Yeah, no number. Right. So even in that film, look, he was in good shape, but he wasn't, ready to take on an army at that point.
But at least he actually, he looked, and he still does look a lot younger than he actually is. And when Stallone pops up in a movie like that, like Rambo, he is, at least in Rambo and even in Rocky Balboa, he is playing the age that he actually is. Which I think helps.
Like the bulk of the character was the age that he actually is, but there were scenes where he, did things that 22-year-olds are supposed to be doing, not 62-year-olds.
Oh, are you kidding? I couldn't even have done that stuff when I was 22. Oh my god!
I get that that's movies, but I don't know. They shouldn't pick guys because of their names when they're all washed up. I'm ready for some new action stars. Who are the new action stars now?
Oh my God, there aren't any, are they? Like, The Rock turned into a pussy overnight, and like Vin Diesel has like made flop after flop, just making bad choices.
I don't want these new freaking guys. I still want the
What about the guy?
What was Jason Statham? Rocks. He's the best new action hero. Is Jason Statham?
Is he?
Jason
who's the guy that did the driver?
What you trying to say? You don't like Matt Damon?
Who's the guy?
Right,
what the hell is that movie
action
called?
stars.
Is it the driver, the guy who delivers packages?
Jason Statham.
Yeah, the transporter. Jason
The
Statham.
transporter. That's what I'm going for. So he does a pretty good job.
Come on, Kyle. You gotta say you trying to say The Bourne Supremacy wasn't an action film?
No,
I like The Bourne
this is what I'm
Supremacy.
talking about. When you're comparing, all right, look at.
I'm not a Matt Damon fan. You ain't got to convince me.
All right, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and the type of. Look at movies like Commando. Look at movies where you've got a man who literally picks up a tree, a man who literally picks up a car and pushes it off a cliff, like a guy who flips a car over with his bare hands, somebody who can hold somebody off a cliff by their bare hands. Stallone, like fighting whatever that Russian guy's name was, played by He-Man himself. Like those are action stars.
Yeah.
Like I don't see Matt
Ivan
Damon.
Drago.
See, I disagree with you. I don't mind an action star being a little closer to a normal person. I think Jason Statham is a good example of that. Yeah, they still
I think
pull
it
it off.
depends.
For me.
I think it depends on the action movie.
And
I
who's
think
the
it
guy
depends
that plays Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. That guy.
He's pretty good.
They act like he's buff, but he's not all that buff.
Oh my God, are you kidding? All right, I'm sending you a picture right now. You don't know what you're talking about, my friend.
I know what you're saying. Hugh Jackman is very buff, but he's not like Arnold Schwarzenegger pumping iron.
Mr. Universe.
You know, if you were to stick Hugh Jackman, and you look, he's a strong guy. I'm looking at pictures of him now. But if you were to put him next to some of the other guys in their prime, like Stallone or Schwarzenegger, he'd be a small guy compared to them.
I think it depends on the kind of action movie, because whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger works great in like Commando, Matt Damon clearly would not. But at the same time, Arnold Schwarzenegger wouldn't be the best choice for Jason Bourne. At least with the kind of Jason Bourne movie they made.
Yeah.
But
I mean, look at an action star like James Bond. James Bond is not a guy who like beats people up because he's super strong. He's more of a Jason Bourne type deal. I can't believe I'm comparing them in that order. But like
bastard.
I think you're forgetting. Charles Bronson made this character that Matt Damon is pretty much influencing. Because Paul Kersey was an older man that couldn't physically beat people up.
Mm-hmm.
well, I mean, so yeah, I guess you're right. But I mean, like.
But it makes you feel good when you see Eastwood punch out young punks.
I like
Hell yes.
What's his line from? Shucks, I suck with my movie trivia. His recent movie where he went up against an Asian gang.
Get off my
Tie
lawn.
punks like you up 6 foot high and use your sandbags.
That's not the one. But do this one. Yeah, Gran Torino. I can't do imitations, but there's that. Ever run into someone you shouldn't have fucked with? That's me.
He points at himself. He's like,
Someone
"That's
shouldn't
me."
have fucked with.
That was it was awesome.
That's such an awesome scene because that guy is out there. All right, there are guys like that. I know guys who are sort of like that. He's riding by in his pickup truck and he sees these guys. And he pulls over. He's like, "What the hell you think you spooks are doing?" They're like, "Spooks."
That's with this 1960s insult.
He whips out that 45 and points it at him. It's like, he's like, if anything goes wrong, like he's not even gonna hesitate. He's just gonna kill him. You can tell,
Yeah.
like that character, he's ready to kill him.
Assuming that it didn't jam.
Oh my!
I was assuming that.
Oh man, what do you? The 1911 is going to open your eyes one day.
They're expensive. I don't have one, but it'll happen.
I'm about to send you a link, Woody. You need to go over this because there is no Glock society.
Oh, please!
You're always on
rabid
just
Glock
drop
community.
it. Just drop it. We know. Okay. And I'm on the fence on both ways. I own both guns. I like them both. I haven't had any issues out of both. They're good guns. They're great guns. And the 1911 has a lot of history. It's 100-year old. It's 99 years old. I get it. It's a great gun. I like it.
I have a Sega Menacer.
There you go.
Sorry.
Hey, speaking of guns, Wings, would you tell us the story about when you got shot?
Oh no.
No, dude, people ask for this week after week.
All right. I mean, it's not much of a story.
But dude, you got shot. How can it's gonna be good?
Yeah, already, it's a great story.
It isn't that much of a story. It's not like I was a badass, doing 5 flips to try to beat somebody up.
Mm-hmm.
If you did 5 flips, you'd have to be rolling down a hill.
But if it ends with someone getting shot, it's automatically a great story. It can be something simple like, I was sitting there eating my Honey Nut Cheerios and I got shot.
Yeah, dude, an
That's
accidental
still a great
discharge is a fairly good story, but you were shot in a crime. Tell me.
Yeah. Well, what it is I was 15. I just got home from Conway High School, and at that time we were living in the projects. We lived in Holt Gardens, which is off 378, US 378. It's a rundown black community. Is what it is. It's project government housing, Section 8 housing, made for by your man Bill Clinton. Well, somebody decided to steal my mama's Monte Carlo. It was an old Monte Carlo 2-door.
So now wait, you come up to the car and you see a guy actively trying to break a window or?
No, he was in the car at that time. He was driving away. It,
All right.
and,
So help me paint the scene here. You hear something that makes you go to
no,
the car?
I was walking because the bus stopped. There was two streets. There was Hudson Street. There was Hawk Street. I lived on Hudson Street, and the bus dropped me off at the end of it. We lived all the way at the cul-de-sac because the street went down a cul-de-sac. And I seen this guy breaking the window of our car, and he was getting in the car by the time I ran my fat ass all the way down there. And but so he seen me coming, and he knew I was coming to him because I was like had my book bag over my head and shit because I had no idea how to fight. I was 15.
Right.
So he pulls out a .38 and shoots me in the leg.
Nice. Revolver, I assume? Little .38 stub nose of some sort?
Yeah, a little .38 stub nose, a little Saturday night special. Shoots me in the leg, gets in the car, hot wires, and drives it off.
All right. Jeez. So, how hurt was your leg immediately? Like, were you on the ground on the spot? Or did you take a few steps? Like, how did you notice?
It was like 1 or 2 steps, but I collapsed, and I couldn't put weight on it. What it had done, it ripped the tendon in the back of the leg, and it pretty much knocked my knee out of joint because it kind of hit the bone and ricocheted and came out.
So this is just above your knee in the back, that tendon?
Yeah, it hit me right back there. And it hit the joint socket and ricocheted and came out the left side of the leg.
So when you saw him pull the gun out, did you sort of turn and give him your back? Is that how?
That's what it had. I kind of crouched like a fetal position, and he shot me in the back of the leg.
That's my move actually for when someone pulls a gun on me.
When I was 15, I was scared of dying then. I got done times now, and it's like, what you gonna do with that shit? I'm not ready to do the Bugs Bunny shit when the next guy pulls a gun.
So he shoots you one time and then drives away in the car.
Yeah, I think he was aiming for my leg. He didn't want to kill me or anything.
Okay, so what's your next move? Like, did someone hear the gunshot?
Lay there and cry.
All right, you were discovered by somebody.
Yeah, there was everybody there. I mean, it's a public housing thing. When he fired the gun, all the little people started coming out of the house. Somebody dead? Is that white boy dead?
Nice. And they called 911.
Yeah, they called 911. And we lived near town, so.
So the ambulance picked you up and took you to the hospital.
I mean, it's just a standard. The bullet was out.
There's nothing standard about getting shot in my neighborhood.
It wasn't the first shooting that year.
I know. So anyway, the ambulance picks you up, and they're not impressed with your wound, I guess, because you're from Section 8 housing, and they're like, dude, this is weak.
This guy ain't got no insurance.
So all this would have a real emergency.
No. Basically, the bullet had ricocheted, and they came out, and it wasn't bleeding bad because it didn't really separate anything.
There was a detail there. It ricocheted, so it hit the bone?
Yeah, I told you, it hit the joint and came out the left side of the leg. That's why I walk with a fucking limp now.
All right. So what did the doctors do? Did they just say, well, there's no bullet in there?
That's pretty much it. They wrapped it up, told you to stay. They wrapped it up. Told you to clean it. No stitches.
Really? So was there an exit wound too?
It was very small.
Okay.
38.
There's an entrance and an exit wound, and they wrapped it up, and I mean, it almost looked like a damn vampire bite.
And
I got a punch.
Oh, go ahead. Wait. Dude, this is the Wings of Redemption got shot story, baby. You don't mess with this.
You want to make this big deal. I mean, your ass would have got shot too if you were there.
Dude, I'd have caught that bullet with my teeth. Don't you mess with me.
He don't went Matrix style.
No. So now talk about the healing on this. You have a limp today. I guess would they put you on crutches?
Well, they put me on crutches, but what it did, I just had to stay off it for 6 weeks actually.
Stay off it. So did you go to school?
No.
So you stayed home for 6 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I don't know why everybody wanted to hear that story.
What? You got the story. I got a funny story that happened here recently.
All right.
All right. I live. We're all in the southeast, all of us are, but I am in the country. I'm out here where like your neighbor's a quarter mile away and stuff. So my dad was driving his house the other day, and in the field next to where he lives, he saw two dogs attacking a calf in this man's field, and they're like killing the calf, like they're mauling the calf to death. So he's got his AR-15 in the car, so he shoots the dog.
Okay.
And the other dog runs off before he can shoot it because he couldn't find the clip, so he just chambered one round and shot the dog. And anyway, so he goes to the man's house to tell him, these dogs killed it because he went out there and the calf died, like not too long after. He goes to the guy's house to tell him, your calf's dead, but don't worry, I shot the dog. And he gets there, and the guy's standing there, and the dog's at the guy's feet all bandaged up. It was that guy's dog.
Nice.
He's like, there were some dogs mauling your calf, and I went ahead and shot one of them.
It's a service I offer.
That's Max there. I think he's going to pull through. Like, most awkward situation ever. Oh, man.
See, he would have had that problem with me because I carry a 1911 in my truck. So I carry stuff.
I told him, I was like, if he'd had the SKS, he wouldn't have ran away.
Wings, you carry all the time? You always
all
have?
the time.
1911?
I carry 1911.
See, I'm not big enough to carry 1911, man.
I am, though. I'm
a
6'4".
school book.
I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. I can carry a full-size pistol.
Kyle, do you carry all the time?
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
I mean, the only time I don't carry, I put it in the glove box. Well, it's actually like a center console of the truck. I'll drop it in there if, like, I have to go into, like, a store or, like, a school zone or government building.
When I'm driving around, I'm always hoping for one of those scenarios where
oh my God.
some sort of elite special forces commando unit has been detached in my area, hired by Guatemalan terrorists, and they're going to try to take over the gas station. See, that's what I'm looking for.
Or an all-star team of international terrorists.
Exactly.
But do you work alone, Kyle?
No, I have a backup part. My cousin Scott, he's ready, willing, and able. He carries his 45, and we'll go in SWAT team style. He will swing in from the roof, and I will come in the back entrance, and we'll take him out.
I'm too damn lazy for that shit. I'd pull up, open the truck door, shoot right through the gas station window.
You're just always hoping for some kind of situation like that, where like, yeah, man, it'd be just like that Chuck Norris movie. If I could just go in there and kill two or three guys, it'd be great.
Oh, sweet. It's going to be just like Top Dog.
Exactly.
I carry a gun because I've had too many guns drawn on me. I don't want to walk with two limbs.
He's a gangster, though, with two limbs. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to be in an FPS Russian video. I'd be so pimp.
Oh, you have to get a pimp cane is what you have to do.
That's a real cane.
I'd do that already. If I
just imagine when the arthritis starts setting in old age on that shit. Fucking, I'll be knowing when it rains.
Oh.
People who all had semi-legitimate claims to the title. And they didn't mention
Wink,
one
are
of
you
them at
playing
all.
with a gun right now?
Yes.
God damn it, put that away.
Did it jam?
No,
I can hear him playing with it.
Besides, it's my Desert Eagle. It is in my 1911.
Nice. You got
Is
the
it 50 cal?
Yeah, 50 Action Express, Mark 19.
Does it hurt to shoot those? Everyone makes such a big deal.
No, it's not worse than like a 357 Magnum. It's not a Magnum cartridge.
Engine block of a car. You never know.
I mean,
It
it's a
doesn't
50
actually go
caliber
through the engine
handgun,
block.
but it's about the size of a 45. It's a little bit bigger than a 45 cartridge.
Have you guys been to boxertruth.com?
It isn't a 50. It isn't a 50 caliber Magnum. If you're asking, like it ain't a Magnum round. The 44 kicks way harder.
44 is a beast.
But let me get back to Boxer Truth. Have you guys been to that site?
No.
Oh, my gosh, you are missing out. So there's a gun enthusiast, and he tests all these things about whatever, does a shotgun penetrate drywall, right? There's this rumor that, the shotgun's great for home defense because it'll kill people, but it won't go through drywall. Not true. Shotgun will go right through drywall.
Of course it will.
Of course it will, right? But I'm telling you, there's like widespread theories out there that shotguns don't go through drywall. There's a lot of people who believe that.
My shotgun will go through 6 layers of cinder block.
Yeah, there you go. I remember I was on a forum one time and it was like a
6
self-defense
layers of
forum.
cinder block. Is that a slug?
No, that's a 3.5-inch Magnum double lock butt.
I was on the self-defense forum one time, and the guy was, and these were like the uber gun nuts. This guy was talking about he was putting dimes in his shotgun shells. He's reloading them with dimes for home defense.
Yeah, so you would love
That would hurt. That would hurt.
Dude.
No shit. That would destroy you.
No. Box of Truth tests that. He puts dimes in there, and he puts other random random stuff in a shotgun shell too. And then what he does is he shoots it. He shoots jugs of water for like human penetration tests. And then he also shoots other stuff. He shot up a car. He shot up books. Like, if you want to know how many books, a 9mm and a 38, and he has more weapons than we do. And he shoots all these different things. He restores guns. You should check out boxoftruth.com, and he'll put a lot of myths to rest.
I used to do it with magazines. I would see how many magazines like an AR-15 or an SKS could shoot through, and it's not very many. You'd be surprised. Like, I mean, you could make your own body armor with a couple good housekeeping magazines.
Dude, a 9mm got through like 22 inches of soft-cover books. It was huge. It penetrated more than the 45.
We're using full metal jackets when you're doing your magazine test, Kyle?
Yeah, dude. I took an SKS FMJ, and it only shot through like 9 magazines. Of course, those are Cosmo.
Yeah, it only shot through like 1,000 pages of literature.
It's not, 9 Cosmo magazines.
Yeah, but you understand, when you're shooting a magazine, it's slowing its force down on every page.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand. I'm just saying, like that's a ton of penetration on. That's the same round the AK shoots. Like, that's a pretty damn powerful round. It's a 7.62 by 39mm, and I don't think I tested the AR-15. I'm gonna test that. I bet it'll only shoot through like 6.
Try 30 caliber.
So Mythbusters did something, and they found that the real high-powered stuff didn't go through water as well as the low-powered stuff, like a pistol.
Yeah, disintegrate on itself.
Yep, exactly. I'm looking for the one where he shoots books, but I'm on the website now. You guys would love the boxoftruth.com. He shoots metal doors. He shoots. People send him bulletproof glass to test, and
we should wrap it up here in a minute.
Oh, should we? No, cool story, bro. Okay. Next week I'll say
on a name drop right now before we shut this down. A guy recently came across me and asked me if I could sell a weapon, and he's starting a YouTube channel. His name is Tactical Tim. Anybody else got anything from him?
Yeah. I don't remember where, but I saw something from him.
I mean, I went and actually looked at his page. It's pretty cool page. So I'm gonna post a link in my description video.
Yeah, I'll do
that. Tim as well. I mean, you guys should check him out. Anybody promoting gun safety and gun awareness, well, more power to him. It's better than some kids saying, "Want to see my sick ass no scope?"
Yeah. The old marijuana commercials. Hey man, want to see my dad's gun?
See, my dad was the exact opposite. He'd probably hand me a gun to get me to stop bugging him.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got a .22 rifle at a real young age.
That's just not good parenting.
I was shooting .22 pistols at 5 years old. Just a goddamn dog.
See, my parents were good though, because they knew if I was silent, I was doing something wrong. That's when you go look for them.
That's the way with this shit.
.com. If you guys want a cool fucking shirt, this shirt says infidel in English, and underneath it in parentheses it has infidel in Arabic. Badass shirt. I want it. That's awesome.
All right, we should wrap up.
All right. Well, I want to thank Brad Jones for coming to be a part of Painkiller already this week. I'll be linking his site, and I'll be linking his site as well. He makes very funny videos. He loves his exploitation. He loves his sheet-eating movies.
I do. They're very near and dear to my heart.
And as always, with much love,